All right. So, hope everyone's having a great weekend and had a good week.
Certainly.
But we are back for some more Dungeons and Dragons.
I'm back.
So, last week, after carrying some nasty disease and doing some downtime shopping, it was fairly quick downtime shopping. You guys all learned about a red dragon attack over in Savatur, which they ended up bribing the dragon to go away rather than face its fiery destructive powers. Um, you all then took the lightning rail and went through Ugento, where you saw a massive copper dragon land into the courtyard. And Callum ran out there wildly to try to get its attention and nearly shamed the family name, as Vickus would
This
put it.
pretty much part of the course.
That's pretty dramatic, honestly.
um,
Is it though?
the rest of the ride went fairly smoothly, being able to ride first class, and you all arrived in Esternay um, early evening after 4 days of travel. One thing of note with Esternay is its structures, its buildings are vastly different from that of the northern imperial areas. Most of them are wooden in construction with either tile or some other material, could some even being metallic as the roofs tops. Um, there are plenty of stone buildings around as well that are larger, most likely services or long-lasting buildings, but the residential ones are mostly wooden in construction. Um, the roads are paved well with stone and brick. Uh, there are plenty of people around. This is a sizable city, nearly the size of Rapallo. Um, do you all have questions?
It does feel good to be back home.
Speaking of which, are we going to meet your parents now?
Well, I'm sure at some point, yes. For now, I guess perhaps maybe Callum could lead the way.
Oh, yes, of course, of course. Is there anything that you all? I mean, we're just staying the night, right? We just want to get in and then get on our way. Correct?
Yes, I don't believe we should tarry too long, to be completely honest.
Yeah, very well, very well. Okay, well, let's just head on then, and then I'll just. I mean, and Vickus would know this. I'm just going to literally just lead them straight to the estate.
Okay. It's not too far of a walk, but it does take you about almost 30 minutes to walk from the station where the lightning rail is set at. You notice a few guards. The streets are still quite populated as there's a little bit of sunlight still left in the day. People scurrying around doing their business, trading, bartering, running errands, socializing, stuff like that. But um, walking through the city, you guys come across some inner walls. They don't seem to be like they wouldn't be extremely effective in a large siege or anything, but it's definitely something there. Um, the gates are already open with guards passing by. Um, for those that are aware of the Grimm heraldry and symbols, you notice that the guards are wearing those symbols as you walk through the gates and into a large residential district. The guards actually nod at you Callum and Vickus, and say, "My lords," as you walk by.
That sounds pretty good there, Vickus, doesn't it?
It does, I must say. And good day to you, gentlemen.
Walking into the residential area, it's quite easy to tell where the estate is, as it is the largest building, and it seems to be mostly centered um, in all of the housing nearby. There are a few stores, local bakeries, and other things to help supply the population with food, water, and other necessities. Um, but looking upon the large manor, the estate is surrounded by an iron wrought fence um, with gates and a couple of guards who man the gate. Seeing you approach, they open the gates and say, "Welcome home, my lords."
Thank you, sir. Thank you. As we were walking, like I would have been giving them all a brief history lesson on like the family and basically just tell them like, what we run here in Esternay.
Okay. So Callum goes on that says that their father is a viscount, and which is about a mid-tier noble here. There's not many of them, but they do demand respect, and they govern large sections of cities. And their father is and their family is responsible for about this district, which holds about 3,000 people inside of this inner walled area. So they're in charge of maintaining that for the count and the prince, who oversees the whole city. Walking onto the estate, you do notice some smaller buildings alongside stables. It's a sizable estate. It's not gargantuan in any sense, but it's around 7 acres or so. To kind of put that in a modern measurement. Obviously you could notice that one seems to be a guest house, and one seems to be like a servant's barracks. The manor itself is quite old, but also quite large. Your initial guess upon approaching it is probably around 16 bedrooms, just for the main building.
As we pass, the servants' quarters or whatever, I look at Frost and say, "This is where our current life debtors work and live currently. Those who owe life debts to the rest of the family."
And I'm going to chime in. Yes, Sir Frost. So this is where you'll be staying for the remainder of your life debt. I hope you find it comfortable. Yes, it'll be a good fun time for you. You'll fit right in.
Just gonna turn around and start walking out.
No, Sir Frost, that was a bit of a jab. That was not real.
Frost, you don't. Your sense of humor is as cold as it's always been, and I appreciate that about you.
Walking up into the manor, you do notice that the family carriage is currently gone, so you're at least one of your parents are out. But you walk through the doors. There is a guard posted there, and of course they give you the acknowledgement as you walk into the family home. Walking into the family home, you notice the polished marble floor is still there. There's a large chandelier hanging in an entryway, carpeted stairs that go down and up.
It does feel good to be home and back in civilization.
Real quick, everyone, just because I really don't want to listen to it if Father's home, just stand still for a moment, and I'm going to prestidigitate everyone's feet so they don't track any dirt into the house.
Okay.
I just don't. I just don't want to deal with anything snide comments or otherwise. Just thank you. Bear with me.
A servant walks by with a silver tray with glasses. My lords, would you care for a glass of water?
I'm
Thank you.
quite
Yeah,
parched,
quite
actually.
parched indeed.
Anything for your friends?
Do I recognize this servant?
It's one of the
This-
housemaids.
Okay.
She's normally helps with cleaning bedrooms and laundry.
Okay.
And
Just
normal
making sure she's
house-taking
not
stuff.
new,
No.
I guess, is what I'm saying.
Ever paranoid. Yes, the guests, whatever they would like, if you could please attend to it, you all, yes, whatever you need.
Frost, please use more than one word for sentence. They they need clear instruction on your needs and wants.
The guest
they're-
bedrooms and of course your bedrooms have been prepared. We we are not hosting any other guests, so they should be free if your guest would be staying the night.
Yes, of course. Do you all want to sleep in the house here? Dear, is the guest house also available?
Yes, the guest house is available for tonight, but tomorrow night I think your father is entertaining guests.
Oh, very well. So if you all would feel comfortable sleeping in the house tonight, then you're absolutely welcome to. Or if you feel more comfortable in your own sort of area, you all can have that as well, whatever you would like.
I'm curious, who are these guests, and do they have any political or otherwise importance that are obviously our father wants to host them? Just curious if there's something that maybe the heir of the family might want to hear or know.
Yes, it's I believe it's the local governors. They're going to be going over some changes to taxation, is what I overheard.
Oh, it's quite an important thing, wouldn't you say there, Cal?
Of import to father, sure, but we need to get on to the quest, the
Oh,
pilgrimage.
Absolutely, we do. Yes, yes. Could we please ensure that my brother Cal here gets a full report when next he returns, please?
Okay. Is mother or father home? We saw the carriages missing.
The count and countess have left for the theater early in the afternoon. They should be back shortly, though.
Oh, very good. Did they have dinner plans, or were they eating in the city?
They ate at the theater.
Oh, very well. Well, I would like, yes, I would like dinner prepared if you could. Again, what did mother and father have last night?
I will notify the chef to prepare a dinner for you and I assume your guests.
Oh, yes, of course. Whatever's available to be prepared. We're not in need of any sort of special meal arrangements. Except Vickus would like his usual.
Well, you would be happy to know, dear. I forgot. Well, did she say her name, or do we? What is her name?
I don't know. I just assumed we knew it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do know it. Let me find the name for you real quick.
Okay.
Need to have that random name generator button just on lock.
Her name is Amy.
Amy. Well, dearest Amy, the chef would be happy to know that my palate has expanded quite significantly over the last few months of travel. So I'm sure whatever is fine for the rest of them will work for me. I will find a way to manage. Please, no, not the usual in front of the guests, please.
Yes, my lords. I will go notify the chef.
I'm going to give her a wink as she walks away.
But walking through the mansion, you'll. Do you guys want to stay in the guest house or do you want to stay in the manor?
I'm 100% staying in the manor.
Oh,
Well,
I'm saying the manor, yeah.
You have to stay in the manor.
Yeah.
I have no preference. Whatever your lordships would be most comfortable.
So Frost, so Ed?
What is Frost doing? I don't think he should be in the guest house alone.
Oh, Sir Frost.
Why?
Sir Frost, I was only joking. Of course, you can stay in the manor with the rest of us.
I do not care.
If you so prefer, it's entirely your choice.
Well, then you all will stay in the manor tonight. It'll be absolutely good time. And then, yeah, Mother and Father will be here shortly. So that'll be fun.
It will. I am looking forward to seeing them again.
So walking to the downstairs where the guest rooms are, you lead Sir Frost, Sir Ed, and Sir Ash into their guest rooms that are available. The nice silk sheets are perfectly folded. There are bathrobes available there. There seems to be 3 shared bathrooms with tubs, with heated water and other niceties. But the rooms are fairly sizable. There's wardrobes, dressers, other things that you would expect to have in a noble's house. It's almost as if you were king yourself.
I
would,
have missed the comforts of home.
I would head to my room and get dressed in nicer attire than what I'm wearing now.
All right. So I was actually going to ask about that. What is everyone wearing and bringing to dinner?
I will put on my shift weave robes,
Okay.
and I'll just go with the old faithful throwback of fine robes with silver and dinosaur feathers.
Ooh.
Alrighty.
I will be wearing my shift weave and in the form of the elegant dinner wear of my high elven people.
All right.
I would wear our traditional, evening attire that we would generally wear.
Okay.
I mean, are there clothes available to us here for any reason, or is it just what we already have?
It's whatever you have.
I'm trying to think of something clever to do here.
Are any of the servants around?
There are servants that walk up and down the hallways, and they do let you know that if you need anything, to let them know.
I ask for some wine, please.
Okay. Would you like some of the... Hold on.
The redder and the drier, the better.
Red wine. Very well. I'll make sure that a bottle is prepared and ready for you for dinner. And if you would like another one for after dinner to have with your bath, you may do so.
That
Well,
sounds wonderful. Could you bring me a glass now?
Yes.
Quite bold of you, Ash, to choose a red wine when you don't know the entree.
Well, you can always change your mind later, right?
naturally.
Would you like it chilled or just at temp?
Temp, please.
Very well.
And I'm gonna like full on peacock it. So, like my finest like silver threaded jacket and the frock, and just the tightest pants that I can find.
Alrighty.
I would wear, what was befitting of my station.
Okay. Being a person of the cloth, you could wear fine clergy robes as well.
Oh, this is true. Yeah, I should have something of that sort. I'll do that with the symbol of Hermod, little cloak buckler, very, very open and in front of me.
I'll wear house colors with my like the holy symbol pin, right? Like just kind of on the
Yes.
doublet.
All right. About an hour later, after you all have removed a lot of your armor, adventuring gear, and set aside your weapons and got changed into nicer clothes,
Excuse me?
I asked what you were bringing.
Always.
um,
Oh, and I can never be anywhere without my walking stick, obviously.
I will have a dagger in each boot and the short sword worn across my back under my cloak.
okay. Set aside most of your weapons. You hear bells ring down the hallway as you peek out your head and you notice a string attached to small little chimes above your doorway, signifying that dinner is ready.
Oh, I do miss those bells.
I'll leave my room and make my way towards dinner.
Okay. So Callum and Vickus, your rooms are upstairs. So you all also get a bell chime as you walk down the stairs and your compatriots walk up the stairs. You all meet in the main hall, noticing each other's attire.
So, Frost, you look absolutely wonderful. Where have you been keeping this ensemble?
You seem to forget where I come from. I'm not just some
south?
dumb servant.
No, I don't believe you are at all. I was just saying I've never seen this attire. I've seen your gear. I've never seen these robes before. It looks absolutely wonderful.
Uh-huh.
Yes, Sir Frost. I'm quite impressed that you clean up so well.
Great.
As you all begin taking a footstep toward the dining hall, you hear the main doors open behind you. And in walk Mother and Father. So,
Before that happens,
okay.
I stop in my tracks after I'm talking to him. I obviously notice their weapons, right?
Those that have them outwardly holstered, yes.
I would say, Frost, no weapons at the table.
Not my problem.
Most certainly is your problem. And it's definitely mine.
As a middle-aged, starting
I'd
to
like
age.
to remind everybody that my sword is a gray sword.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
a middle-aged man, getting, has salt pepper hair, a lot more salt than, and it's kind of like highlights now, but wearing some
Caliente.
elegant robes of blue with gold filigree, with a, well, let me just show you the image. How about that? Walks in along
Ah,
with
yes.
what you
Caliente.
along with what you presume to be his wife, for those that are outsiders, who is wearing a wonderful white dress with obsidian filigree.
If it's not his wife, we're going to have a much different conversation at dinner.
It is, in fact, your mother. So this is Viscount Ronrick and Baroness Jana have walked in.
Mother, father, hello.
Ah, my sons! Have you returned from your pilgrimage so soon?
No, Father, but we've stopped by on our way through to say hello and treat our traveling companions to another wonderful meal before we get back on the road.
You've met some traveling companions. Would you care to introduce me?
Yes, Cal, if you will.
Very well. My companions, this is the Viscount Rorik Grimm, and his my beautiful mother, the Baroness Jana Vera. Jana Vera. Mother, father, before you see, this is Sir Frost, an excellent companion, as skilled, if not more so, with a sword than I am. We have our marksman here, Sir Ash. He is an absolute delight. And then you have our master of the arcane, Sir Ed here. Just his prowess with the arcane is unforetold. So these are our companions, and they've been absolutely wonderful to us. Thank you.
It's such a pleasure to meet you all, Baroness Jana says. Ah, I'm so happy to see you all doing. Have you been eating well? As she stares more at Vickus at that question.
Well, actually, yes, we have. Sir Ed there is quite an accomplished chef, and it's gone well.
I see you were all dressed for the evening. Do you have plans out?
I just yearned to be part of civilized society again. Just thought it was fitting.
Where are you all heading?
We're just having dinner here.
As his eyes turn to Frost. Dinner?
Well,
with
yes.
weapons?
Well, it has been a long road, and I could not convince my companion to put his away.
Father, it is his ceremonial and ancestral sword. We cannot pry him from it. And
Though we have tried.
If he were to lose that, or something were to happen to it at all, he would be banished from his homeland. So, we not one to judge the customs of other lands, are we?
Because
Make a persuasion check.
outwardly is fighting to contradict his brother.
Perhaps not.
Thank you, Father.
He still does not look pleased.
So par for the course when I'm in the room. Got it.
He looks less pleased than usual when you're in the room. Well, enjoy your dinner. I will expect you all at breakfast tomorrow.
Of course, my lord. Thank
Certainly.
you so much, Father.
Father, Mother, it was great to see you both.
Yes.
I will give Mother a kiss before she retires, and I will shake Father's hand before we head to the dinner hall.
I will
I will
joyously
awkwardly bow.
hug them both.
And come, dear. Let us freshen up from the evening. And they walk up the stairs.
I look at Cal and say, how rude of you not to invite them to at least the desserts.
It is their home. I feel like it'd be more rude to invite them to dessert in their own home.
But it's different. We have guests.
It's not really that different. And if you ever known Father to
What are
not
y'all
just
whispering about over here? Is
Oh,
dinner ready?
hello, Sir Ash. No, Cat
Is there a
Vickus
problem?
is no Vickus is just a stickler for etiquette,
Oh.
and he needs to not be so.
Well-
What's the word? A stick in the mud when it comes to Mother and Father. They're fine.
I
The
see.
adults.
I'm sorry. I asked. Except my wine glass is empty, and I hold it up and upside down. Where do I go fix that?
Actually, right through these doors here. Let's head to the dinner hall.
Vickus hurriedly goes and cups his hands underneath the open cup. Ash, please. What? Why
Don't
would
worry,
you do such a thing?
Don't worry. I wouldn't waste any wine on the floor.
Still, of all the nights, tonight,
What? So what? What?
this is your first impression. It's most important.
Oh.
Please.
My bad.
And this is
I
when
didn't
my
realize
bad
this
made it
was
to
all
Esternay.
My face is so red right now. You can't imagine.
As we're walking in, I lean over to Ash and I say, "You should drink beer. Wine is for babies." That's it.
Okay. Walking through a hallway, there are a slew of portraits and trophies from hunting game hung around. The portraits, as Vickus and Callum can describe to you, are various family members, mostly more on their father's side, but some on the mother's side as well. But various, they have 3 aunts and uncles, or I should say 2 uncles and 1 aunt. And their grandparents on both sides are listed. So, Vickus and Callum do not have portraits hanging in the hall. But walking through the hall and through what looks to be a sitting room with a small library at hand, you walk into the dining room and laid before you on a nice long table with exquisite chairs and mahogany floor is a feast with fresh baked bread that you can smell. There seems to be a smoked pork. There is various cuts of steaks presented. Typically, your meals would be served to you but directly by the chef, but since this is outside the normal dinner time, as it's later in the evening, it's more of a buffet and serve yourself, but here's the food, and then dessert would be served afterwards.
Vickus, we are morons, by the way. We forgot to ask about your title.
Well, it's no rush for me. It's practically useless.
Well, first of all, it's a great honor, and you should treat it as such because this is it's your lord now. It's amazing.
Well,
Second of all,
just by default, yes.
You are just a stickler for detail. And then we should definitely ask Father about that, because I am curious. At breakfast tomorrow, if he doesn't end up joining us for dessert tonight,
Indeed.
do I see Vickus as usual on the table?
There is a bowl of Vickus as usual on the table.
I would like to identify what that is. I'm with my background of a cook, I should have advantage.
Go ahead and roll a. I agree, and roll a cooking tools check.
Don't we already know this?
It's for the role play flavor.
I don't know that we've ever actually been able to order it.
Oh, I suppose. Yeah, you're right.
So I'm feeling really dumb. Where are the cooking tools at?
It's under your inventory. Cook utensils.
I found it. And then to do
Shift.
advantage, you shift click. Yeah.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Didn't even need advantage.
Didn't even need advantage, as you can clearly identify that is boneless fried chicken cutlets. And there seems to be a couple of flavorful sauces nearby.
I'm taking note of the composition of all of it so I can recreate exactly that at a later time.
Yeah.
Like to the point where it is indistinguishable later.
All right. They are there, and there seems to be plenty of them.
Yeah, Vickus is very much enticed to grab them, but he turns away and starts to kind of grab the majority of other things first, and then once his plate is nearly full, he goes and grabs a couple and mixes them in. I'm going to try to pretend, or I'm going to do a sleight of hand check to see if I can hide that from everyone.
All right. It's a decent attempt.
My passive perception's a 10, so I didn't see it. And I wouldn't have been looking for it, so.
Mine's
Mine's
only a
an
15.
18.
Uh,
Mine was an 18.
Do I have? I don't have you on the map.
I don't know where to see that.
Hold on.
On the attributes page next to your
Nobody
your
notices.
perception.
Or
Oh,
Ash.
yes.
Ash notices. Sorry. Nobody else but Ash does notice that he, after filling his plate with a bacon-wrapped fillet, along with a turkey leg and a fresh roll, some green beans, and some steamed potatoes, you do notice that Vickus seems to take a look around and quickly grab some of the fried chicken cutlets and put them on the middle of his plate, hidden by the rest of the large amounts of food he's acquired.
I will not make any sign of recognizing his furtiveness.
Ash, you notice that there is a bottle of wine that has already been opened and a glass is poured for what you have requested. Otherwise, there are bottles of wine and various other drinks, including ale, a small keg of ale, on a side table with glasses and mugs set out for you all. The silverware is real silver, and the plates have gold and silver inlays with the family heldrum.
I will go over and grab 2 of the beer mugs, pour them, sit back at the table, slide one over to Ash, look at him and go, point at his wine and go, babies.
I'll tip my wine glass to him as I sip my wine and
I will-
not make any comment.
I will grab the mug of ale that he pushed towards Ash because I can see he's already drinking wine. I'm like, so Frost, chill.
Grab it and I'll cool it off.
Thank you, Sir Frost. Thank you so much. And I will just take a nice big swig of ale, and I'll take my usual seat as long as it's near my companions there, and just dig into the food, man.
Well,
Yep.
make sure I uncomfortably cooled it so that first big swig is really cold.
Wonderful. So yes, all welcome to our home. Hopefully you find the food enjoyable. I'm so happy that we could actually finally bring you here after these last few months. So hopefully you guys find it comfortable. Did you all find your rooms okay? Were the rooms to your satisfaction?
They were awesome.
It was fine.
Fine one.
So, Frost, I have to ask: is it fine in the sense of it was, quite good, or is it fine as in it was average to your experiences?
It is suitable.
I'm sorry. Suitable. Yes. Right. Good to know.
So Frost, I don't know if you typically pick up on social cues, or you have just deeply offended Vickus.
Just laugh.
I am so sorry.
No. I'm fine with it. I offend Vickus almost on an hourly basis, so I actually find it quite fun that someone else is doing it. And I'll say this to all of them. I'm not singling out Sir Frost at all here. If mother and father arrive, I would ask. They are very pleasant people. They just treat them with respect, because I don't want to have to stab any of you today, because they are wonderful people. So please treat them with respect and civility. Not that I assume that any of you wouldn't, but I say this mostly to put Vickus's mind at ease, because I can tell that he is very anxious right now. So just make sure that you are have your table manners about you. But I'm so glad the rooms are to your liking. So Frost, I was bullshitting about your sword there a little bit, but it is a family heirloom, I assume.
Yes, and
Could
it
you-
is very important.
No, absolutely. So speaking of the sword, and I only bring this up because it has been a topic of conversation, and I'm pretty sure Vickus almost shit a brick when Father saw you with it. What was the power from the dragon going into the sword? Do you mind telling us now? We have invited you to our home.
Please remove it from the table. Just can you put it at least at your side on the floor, and put it against the back of your chair at least, please, Sir Frost?
I'll take it off the table and just set it down, leaning up against the table.
Clank, 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 clank.
You have a scabbard for that thing?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
Thank you, Sir Frost. At least we have it off the table now. That is, I am grateful for that, at least. As he reaches down, doesn't even try to hide it now, and grabs the fried chicken cutlet and starts eating them hand over fist.
Just comfort food. Just like literally anxious comfort food.
You dip it in the sauce, of course, right?
The first one I do not, because I'm just trying to get something, familiar and happy in my system. But the next one's definitely dip them in the sauce.
Alrighty.
I was waiting for the roll of Constitution saving throw.
Nah. No, it's instant kill. No, I'm kidding.
Right.
enjoying your nice dinner. Is there anything else you would like to discuss as you enjoy one of the finest feasts that you all have ever have had?
The sword? So Frost, tell us about the sword. You're in our home. It's the least you can do. We invited you to a home. We're housing you. We're feeding. Look at these steaks, So Frost. Look at these steaks. They are absolutely delicious. Please, can you tell us anything about the sword?
I'm going to grab one of the steaks with my bare hand, rip a big chunk out of it, chew it very slowly, staring straight at Callum, swallow, and then say, "The sword is not your problem."
No, of course not. I don't believe it's my problem. I am just supremely curious about it, given what I've seen it do at this point. I'm honestly just curious. I'm not attempting to offend you in any way. I like you, So Frost. That's why I rib on you and tease you. I like you. I think you're a good chap. So, it just knowing more about you has just kind of piqued my interest at this point.
Great.
As I see
Stop
him
asking about the sword.
being rude, I am like gripping the silverware, like white knuckling it, breaching all of the social etiquette and everything. I'm getting upset.
Which of the 4 forks are you
Vickus,
currently?
Faust, why don't we all have another drink?
I will abstain from the alcohol, thank you. But I appreciate the offer.
I will have another ale for sure. And So Frost, don't worry about it. You'll tell us about it if and when you feel it's necessary. So that is absolutely fine. And I do hope you're enjoying that steak, though just keep in mind that your blatant attempt to, I don't know, be rude or intimidate me with your eating skills was subpar. You need to work on that. And I will go and grab another ale.
I'm going to ask the servant for another bottle of wine.
Faust, I don't think you are tough enough to outdrink me. Shall we wager?
Please, no drinking games, no drinking contests tonight. Please, we have to meet our parents for breakfast in the morning. Please.
Well, we do, and we do need to get an early start. But so, boys, you may do your drinking game. Just keep your wits about you, please.
I think Vickus has had enough problems for tonight. And you have a gambling problem.
One of the servants come by with a bottle. We ran out of the dry red. Would the frostberry wine be satisfactory to you, Ash?
I'm willing to
Frostberry?
try it.
No, Sir Frost has had his fill. He does not partake in wine. Only ales for Sir Frost, please.
Oh, I thought I was talking to Ash. I'm sorry.
No, just Sir Frost interrupted you. I just wanted to make sure that you do not offend him by offering him the wine.
I'm going to place my hand on Vickus's shoulder because he's freaking the fuck out right now. Vickus, it's fine. It's okay. Everyone is fine. So, Frost, if you would like some frostberry wine, you are more than welcome to it. Yes, Sir Ash would love some frostberry wine, I can already tell. Vickus,
I'm just going to
it's
take the bottle
okay.
from the servant as they're talking and walk out and go to my room.
Okay. You take the bottle, and as promised, there is another bottle of the red that you were previously served sitting.
Oh, I'm taking that too.
It's on your nightstand next to
Oh,
the bed, along with
nice.
2 glasses.
Nice. I'm just going to make myself comfortable and finish drinking dinner.
Sir, before he leaves, Sir Ash, please partake in some of the food at least.
No, I don't. I'm going to get out of here before I embarrass you or
Okay,
myself.
Then I will have
Oh.
one of the servants bring it to your room. I would prefer that you at least try it, please.
I will make
Ill.
a small plate of cheese and bread and just kind of wink at Ash and hand it to him. Have a good night, Sir Ash. Thank you so much for joining us.
I'll take that, and then I'm going to reach over and take the last fried chicken thing and dip it in the sauce and eat it as I leave.
At least he tried something.
What are you pulling for us?
The ale cask to
Okay.
me.
Okay, Vickus, as he sees this, like shoves his chair back, making that loud, like the wood on stone sound, and he stands up abruptly and says, "This absolutely will not do. No, we cannot. Just stop acting like a pack of barbarians at a tavern. You've been welcomed to our estate. We have given you every manner, every inch of hospitality, and you've done nothing but insult and embarrass us this entire night."
Callum is going to sit there tapping his foot until he thinks Vickus is done.
A door opens as one of the chefs walks in with a wonderful dessert. Vickus and Callum recognize this instantly as is one of the signature fudge cakes with fresh whipped topping.
I stop my tirade as the door opens and watch him bring it in and thank him. Thank you, chef.
Would you like me to cut it and serve it, or would you like to cut and serve yourself?
So we will cut and serve ourselves. You have done an excellent job tonight. The food was absolutely fantastic. You head on home and give your wife my best.
Thank you, my lords, as he bows down and then exit out the door.
All right, Vickus, have some chocolate cake. It's okay. The house is huge, and Mother and Father live in the West Wing. They can't hear anything that's going on. Calm down.
It's not about what they can or cannot hear. It's about the principles and the rules. Am I the only one who gives a damn about the rules?
Vickus, I will take Fudgy the Whale away from you if you don't calm down.
Don't you dare bring him into this. This has nothing to do with Fudgy.
Have some cake. Have some cake. Just sit down, calm down. It's fine. Everything is fine.
It most certainly is not, but I had to say it because you would not.
No, I wouldn't. Now, have some cake and shut the fuck up, honestly. It's fine.
So I'm just sitting there with the cask in my hand this entire time, like looking at him, like with the side eye, like what just happened. And then once that discussion ends, I'm just gonna pour it into my
As being
and offer it to Vickus.
Practically ordered to sit down and eat my cake from the air, I do so begrudgingly, and I look at Sir Frost when he offers me, and I say, "No, thank you, Sir Frost. I'm fine."
And then I'll offer it to Callum.
Oh, for sure. I'm super calm right now, so it's really fine.
I'm just confused. I have no idea what I did.
Yeah. Would I notice that? Does he look confused?
Yes, I have a very clear look of confusion on my face.
All right. So Frost. Thank you, by the way, very much. Okay, so in Esternay and the imperial cities in general, typically you would stay at your seat the entire time. You would only serve yourself food, drink, and wine and things of that nature would be brought to you. Vickus here is a big stickler for just proper etiquette and table manners, as it were.
Did stay seated.
No, you did, but you served yourself, correct? See, that there's so many rules involved that it's absolutely it's crazy, and it is hard to remember them all. So Vickus is just a little bit anxious right now. That kind of set him off. It was, it is what it is. So that is why for the outburst. I noticed that you look confused. But it's fine. You're absolutely fine. And whenever you all are ready, you can head to your rooms. But please, this cake is absolutely delectable. So I would recommend that you have at least a piece, even if you're not a sweets fan. It is very, very good. You'd be remiss not to at least try it.
After I've eaten half of my cake during this whole thing, I look up at Frost with embarrassingly a little bit of chocolate cake still on my mouth, and I say, "So Frost, I apologize. I had forgotten myself, and I am I forget that not everyone is privy to our customs and our courtesies. So I apologize for the outburst. I was just, as Callum said, offended that the courtesies and customs were not being followed. That is all."
I'm just gonna stand up, grab my sword, sling it back over my shoulder, grab the ale keg in my mug, and say, "I think I am going to sleep." And walk.
Thank you, Sir Frost, for joining us. You have a wonderful sleep.
Vickus looks up at the ceiling and then puts his head in his hands over the cake.
So Ed, tomorrow morning at breakfast, I will make sure to introduce you to the kitchen staff. Would you like to make breakfast tomorrow, or are you liking the lap of luxury right now?
I've never been one to turn down a challenge.
Very good.
I would not mind surprising your parents.
Very good. Well, tomorrow morning I will introduce you to the kitchen staff and the head chef. And I will let him know that you'll be making us breakfast tomorrow. He is overworked and underpaid, in my opinion, because his food is absolutely wonderful. And I will make sure that you have all of the accoutrement that you could want. It'll be a fun time. And then Vickus, I think
Vickus is visibly shaking his head no, but he does not say anything because Callum is inviting him to do this.
Vickus, it is a nice thing to do. It doesn't always have to be about pomp and circumstance.
You are correct, brother. Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Yes. You are the Lord in the room, as it were. So, yes, what you say
Vickus,
shall be done.
I think you need to come to my room before you go to bed tonight, please.
If you
I insist.
if you insist, yes, indeed. I will need a moment to freshen myself up after dinner, of course.
Very good. I'm going to take my leave. Vickus, finish your cake, please.
I will. Sir Ed, would you care to join me for the rest of this cake?
Sure.
I will pat Vickus and Ed both on the shoulders, make my way to my room, and roll a nice big fatty.
Sir Ed,
I'm gonna whatever teenage drug is popular in Esternay. I don't know, peyote, weed. I don't know. I'm just gonna roll a nice big fatty, whatever recreational drug that a rich kid would have.
Sir Ed, I must say that I appreciate your table manner, and I've seen that you have paid quite a bit of attention to these meals, as it were, these entrees and these courses. Whatever you do, please find out how to recreate those fried chicken cutlets.
It was not going the way I was thinking it was gonna go. Not a problem. I tell you what, tell your cook to give me some of the spices, and anytime you want it, I will make it for you. And if not, I may be able to presto something Pretty close.
Of course, Sir Ed, and once again, I greatly appreciate your talents and the attention to detail you provide and bring day to day. Just so that it is said, I do appreciate you and your skills. Thank you.
You are very welcome. Lord. Now. No?
Right. Please, just Vickus. Ed.
That was actually a giggle in character.
After a fantastic dinner and finishing up the cake, everyone returns back to their rooms. Do you
I
all...
wash my hands, have a nice little cry that everyone did not appreciate our hospitality, or everyone besides Ed did not. Vickus feels they didn't appreciate the hospitality, so he's going to cry about that momentarily, and then he will go see Callum.
Now, the guests that are staying downstairs, there are servants that do offer to help bathe you um, with hot water and whatnot and prepare you for your night if you so choose. It's optional, of course.
I petition the role play of the servant asking Frost if she can or he can bathe them.
I also protest. I want to know what happens.
Frost, is it? Would you need any assistance bathing tonight?
What?
It is a service that is offered, and you are not the only dragonborn that have stayed in these halls. So we do have some brushes that could really shine those scales. But if you just would like us to prepare your tub for you and you would wish to bathe yourself, that is also an option.
Yes, the tub is fine. Thank you.
As you wish.
Ed's a gnome, right?
No, he's a halfling.
Oh, God.
So, when I get to the bath, is the water warm?
Yes.
I'm going to stick my finger in it and make it really cold. like borderline icing.
God damn it. The amount of energy that goes into heating water. I just...
Imagine these servants carrying all this boiling water upstairs for like 2 or 3 hours, and then he just goes blink and makes it cold.
Good thing that Vickus does not know this happened.
Also, we live in a world of magic, guys. It's
Well,
not
no.
hard
While
here.
that's true, I'm just saying.
I know the servants need to know their place. They carry boiling water up those stairs. Okay, it's my immersion.
And when I get out, it's literally just like there's icicles hanging off of it. It's that cold when I go to bed.
Alrighty. Basically freezing water. The only thing that keeps it from freezing would be your body temperature, as it is 32.5 degrees Fahrenheit. Anything else? Ed got the full-on scrub from the servant.
Yes.
Ash, did you choose to bathe with the servant or not? That came out wrong.
Look at the youngest, prettiest girl and invite her to bathe with me.
Okay, about a mid-20s human.
That'll work.
So she thinks it's a misconception. She doesn't like undress or anything. She's like preps your tub and offers to wash you and
That'll
stuff.
work.
Okay.
Whatever. I continue to drink my wine as she works me over.
All right. Vickus, are you gonna bathe after talking to Callum, or?
Yes, I just pretty much washed my hands and my face to make sure that nobody could tell that I was weeping in my room because the dinner was so miserable.
All right. Well, feel free to go visit Vickus or visit Callum when you're ready, Vickus.
So yeah, I just go to Callum's room and I knock on his door and stand there, awaiting the Lord to answer the door.
You're still fucking knocking. Just walk in, please.
Okay. And I walk in.
You're always
You
welcome here.
wanted to see me, Cal? Lord?
No, don't stop. That is too much.
I
I
thought.
shut the door. I open the window and I fucking stick the doobie in my mouth. And can I just like assume that I have like basically marijuana?
You have.
Sorry,
you
YouTube.
Yeah. Well, you have a rolled dried herb that.
I already got a
lightens
name
you.
for it, guys. We're gonna call it Snogsbane. So roleplay efficiently.
There you go. You have Snogsbane.
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 All right.
Perfect. I'm gonna open a window. I'm gonna presto it lit, and I'm just gonna kind of sit down on the floor, like at the footboard of the bed, and
You
kind
have
of
a
lean against it.
balcony, like with
Oh.
chairs.
Oh, excellent. So I'm going to take Vickus out to the balcony, arm around his shoulder, stick it in my mouth, light it up with Presto, take a drag, and hand it over. And like, Vickus, calm down. It's fine. Yeah, like the good old days. It's fine.
You know, it's been years since I've partaken.
I know. This is really dry and really rank, but it is fine. So here, take some.
Fine. Yes, well, I do not understand why anyone would put the alcohol poison in their bodies, but this does come from the earth, and it is, as far as I'm concerned, it is the way it was intended. And it takes
also berries come from the earth too. Yeah, I'm not going to argue with you. You need to calm down though. It's fine. You realize that mother and father are not like deities, right? They are just people. Like, we're all just people. So people have customs.
Yes, while that is true, there are standards, man. Like, it's just, I understand that it's like a social construct. He's obviously feeling it after one hit. It's like, I know it's, we create this social construct and these barriers between ourselves, and we are all the same people. I get it, but it's just, you're right. I just wound too tight, and perhaps maybe I should take a page out of your book, brother. You're right. You really are right. At least about this.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the somewhat backhanded compliment there. So just relax. What? I'm sorry. What was the drug called again, Ed?
Snogsbane.
Snog.
Vickus would only refer to it as Snog.
Gotcha. Snog. Okay. So yeah, you seem to calm down. If I need to go like buy some more of this before we leave, that is totally fine.
You bring up a good point. I didn't feel this way on the road with anyone. It was once we got back home and the pressures of our station and the upbringing and the society. I don't know. It gets to you.
Well, it doesn't get to me. But
well, it gets to me.
Yeah, I know. So just try to do what I do and just remember that, yes, we have certain stations and that's fine, but the pomp and circumstance is not really for anyone but us. And to be honest, it's not very fun. So if you just remember that, hey, we could sit at the table and only drink wine in small sips and stuff like that. And then if a stray arrow comes through the window, we're still dead. So it doesn't, it's all again, it's circumstance for circumstance's sake, and it's rather boring, honestly. So, just keep that in mind. You gotta live life a little. Just have fun. It's fine. Mother and father had fun when they were younger. I'm sure. I don't know. They never told us about it, because
I mean, do you really
whatever.
think their father really had fun? I mean,
Probably
he's-
not. No, he was probably born with that beard and probably was already taxing people in the
but
womb.
don't get me wrong. I absolutely love father, but yet he
Oh
does
no, I
not
love
seem
father
like the
too.
person who ever quite had his share of fun, if you will.
No, he's rather you're much rather like him, honestly. But it is just remember that they are people, and any noble is a person, and we're all mortal, and we all have blood in our veins, except for maybe Sir Frost, who I'm pretty sure has ice in his veins, and I do that impression in game.
Vickus thinks it's
Roll
the
a
funniest
performance check.
fucking. Regardless of how bad it is, Vickus thinks it's the funniest fucking thing he's ever heard.
Good thing I'm proficient in performance, motherfucker.
You do a quite good impression of him. You should do it in front of him sometime. I'm sure he'd love it.
I honestly believe that Sir Frost hates me, and I don't know why.
I think he hates everyone, to be honest, and I think that's part of it. I think that's his bit.
I think he likes Sir Ash, and I think he likes Sir Ed, and I think he has to like you. I'm pretty sure he hates me, and I do not know why. I think it's because I told him.
Maybe it's because you ask about his sword. Maybe he doesn't like talking about the sword.
We're very, very aware that he's like talking about the sword, and like at this point, we're just like having super high banter for the next 3 hours. And unless Vickus, unless you had like something else you wanted to bring up,
I would interrupt. And like while we're talking about the sword or whatever, I would just say, so what was Ash? He left. He said he didn't want to embarrass us or himself, or maybe it was just me. Should I go and apologize to Ash? And if so, would you come with me, please?
Well, first of all, I don't think Sir Ash honestly very much cares. I mean, he says he
seemed to care.
He seemed like he wanted to drink, which he understood that just drinking in public would be, rude. So he was like, I'm going to go to my room and drink. I don't think it goes that deep. Honestly, he might be a little sauced right now, so I'd probably just wait till the morning.
Well, I suppose you're right.
I honestly don't think he was offended in the slightest. I think that he was just worried that he was going to offend you by wanting to partake in some really good wine.
I certainly hope that is the case, and I'm actually glad that at least one of them did not see my awful and quite rude outburst.
It was fine. It was explained. It's totally fine. We're good. Now pass, Vickus.
Sorry. Yes, this is quite good. I know, as I'm handing it over, you said it wasn't good, and I think you downplayed it a bit.
Well,
I haven't felt this good in some time.
It's like wine. It gets better and better the more that you have.
Carrying on with your late evening conversation, the rest of you have a very comfortable sleep. The feathered beds with the silk sheets make everything just nice and relaxed, and you are all able to rest easily.
I do wake up super early and walk into Vickus's room, and I, try and find the stash.
Before your rest,
okay.
Hold on, gotta find it. So, before your rest, Ash, a servant walks in with a jug full of warm milk.
Okay, yeah, just forget it. It wasn't. No, never mind.
You sure? Okay.
What? I'm interested to see where this milk goes.
Yeah, I was really. I was like,
made
go
delivered
on.
to Frosty
Yeah,
over there.
sorry, I misspoke.
but,
It was Frost. Frost, when you returned from your bath, a jug of warm milk and an empty mug is on your nightstand.
Babies. I go to bed.
You said warm milk, right? It's got to
Yes.
be warm. Okay.
Yeah.
To offend him
Indeed,
even
very
further,
warm.
anything that's warm is
Yeah, sorry,
Just
Stoney.
offends him.
I misspoke. I read your name in the message, but
No, it's all good.
yep. But other than that, you all get a nice long rest, and you awake in the morning. Something that is easily identifiable as invisible servants are cleaning up any dishes and carrying them out. And as soon as you get out of bed, they start making your bed. So your bed basically looks like it's making itself.
Ah, well, you never really get used to it.
Is there anything you would all like to do before you assemble for breakfast?
I would
Well-
meet up with Callum first thing.
I have to make the breakfast first.
All right. So Vickus, you go meet Callum.
Basically, and I'm not going to roleplay this out. I just ask him if he could bring along just a little bit because we're going to be on the road. We don't want our senses dulled for too long, but I think we should introduce the boys to the snog.
all right. So this just turned into Breaking Bad with Vickus. So, yeah, of course, yeah. And I'll package up like whatever I had hidden, like my little stash in my room or whatever, and then I will. We'll get to the rest of it later, but I'll pack it up and into my gear, and I will go ahead and grab my gear for traveling because we're going to leave right after breakfast, and I'll tell Vickus to do the same. And
I was packed, ready to roll
okay.
as I showed up.
Cool. So grab my gear and just start making my way toward wherever I knew where Sir Ed was staying.
Okay. Sir Ed is all the way on the bottom floor. So the house kind of sits on a hill, so the bottom floor is not like a basement. They do have doorways out onto to private gardens.
Do I pass are Sir Ash and Sir Frost's rooms like in the same area?
Yep, it's just it's a long hallway with doors set aside, and there's 3 baths that are shared between the guest bedrooms. There are 6 guest bedrooms downstairs.
Gotcha. So I'll knock on each of their doors just lightly and kind of in a outside voice, breakfast and breakfast in about 30-45 minutes or so, and then I'll make my way to Sir Ed's room and knock on the door.
Hello.
Hey, Sir Ed, are you ready to cook?
Of course. I actually figured I would already been cooking.
Gotcha. Let me take you to the kitchens and introduce you to the staff. And the kitchens are absolutely marvelous. I have snuck quite a few cookies or two from them. So, and I'll lead Sir Ed to the kitchens.
Roll your portents for the day, Sir Ed.
I already did.
Okay.
They're in there. It's like 2 and
Yes.
something.
I think it's 12 and 6.
12 and 6.
Yeah. I
All
don't
right.
have that page up.
Going back to the main floor, taking a slightly different path. First going into the west wing, which kind of wraps around back towards the east wing to get to the kitchens. This is where most of the service stuff happens, is towards the back. There's laundry that washes the sheets, the kitchen, and storage and other things back this way. You walk into the kitchen and you see a chef that seems to be heating up wood-fired grilled, wood-fired stove, and has a bunch of fresh ingredients laid out on various tables, along with an assistant who seems to be prepping vegetables.
Do you have a name for him, or do you want me to just name him real quick?
You can name him.
So Charles, hello. Charles is what I said.
Yes.
So Charles, this is Sir Ed. He would very much like to partake in your kitchen. He's a very accomplished chef in his own right, and while I know that your breakfast crepes and omelets are absolutely to die for, I thought it would be nice to introduce our guest who loves to cook as well to our kitchen, and maybe let him cook us breakfast this morning. Give you a bit of a rest.
Does your father know about this, my lord?
No, he does not. I thought it'd be a nice surprise to have one of our traveling compatriots make him breakfast. And I assure you, he is absolutely upstanding citizen. You have nothing to worry about.
If you wish, but I will stand by and watch, and perhaps if I don't like what he makes, I will make a backup breakfast.
A backup breakfast?
As halflings are well aware of first and second breakfast, no worries there. So Charles, by the way, how was Vivian last night? Did you get home at a reasonable hour?
Yes, I did appreciate the early night off.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, you, sir, have fun with Sir Ed here. He is, again, a very accomplished chef in his own right. I have seen him cook dragon steaks on a campfire, and they were absolutely exquisite. You maybe should, you guys should share notes, and I'll be on my way, and I'll just walk off.
Dragon steaks?
Oui. Sometimes you have to make delicate food out in the field. I want to make sure that Vickus is well taken care of. He is a very good employer.
Well, let's see what you have.
And just like that, starts running around the kitchen and barking orders to the sous chef that is there, not the actual chef. I would not disrespect him, but the sous chef is there.
You do notice that the actual chef helps the sous chef out while keeping an eye on you.
Oh yeah, totally.
It would be a point of order and kind of a like exclamation point on Ed's skills that if he mentions that I eat his food.
Where did you go to learn on how to cook?
The name of the town is escaping me. Going back to my biography, give me a second. Oh my god, I didn't write it in there.
Anvik.
I learned with the picky smart types in... What was it again? I'm sorry?
Anvik.
In
Anvik. Anvik. I'm not familiar with that school.
It is the School of Hard Knocks.
Yeah. So what are you preparing for the Count and the Countess this morning?
First of all, do you have any boars? Or here, I'm just going to show you a picture of what is inside of my character's head right now, so what he's going to try to prepare in this however amount of time we've got. You've got many treats here.
The gabagool.
All right. So look.
How many rolls do you want?
A fresh fruit basket. You got some rolls. You have various pastries.
I would even say there's some breakfast meat pies there, which look to die for.
Yes. And a boar's head to decorate. All right. I want 4 rolls to assemble this breakfast. You can have advantage on 2 of them from the help of the head chef and the sous chef.
So the main dish obviously needs to be perfect. So this one will be an advantage one. Hold on one second. So whenever I'm hitting shift, it's not actually working.
So what is the main dish?
This is the just the boar itself. It's going to be a full boar, but the head will be separated, and then the pieces will be kind of apart. But the head being the centerpiece, right?
Okay, so
So this is with advantage. This first roll and second roll, and I'll guide myself on that as well. 4,
all right.
27. The second one will be these breakfast pastries. I think that's another important thing that needs to be spot on, because I think that is something that Vickus will like. $20 is good
20?
enough.
How right you are on the breakfast pastries. He loves a good Pop-Tart.
All right.
Only from French toasters, though.
What is
Of
this?
course, naturally.
This is going to be. I'm not sure what to call this, but you see that pot of something that looks delicious in front of the fruit basket?
Yes.
Whatever that bastard is, because it looks delicious.
All right.
I'm not a cook. I don't really think, does a fruit basket need to be rolled for? It's going to be the best fruit basket ever.
More so, I would call it the rest of the meal.
Yep. All right. So there's everything else, and we'll go ahead and guide that too, because I can do that. I'm a broken ass character.
All right. So 20s and above for everything.
Yep.
So basically, a near perfect meal with the entree by far being the best thing served. The head chef is noticeably impressed, and you should also be impressed with his preparedness, as he did not need to recreate anything that you instructed. But the sous chef still had some minor mistakes. They seem to be fairly young, maybe 16. Both are human.
But with our guidance, it is a perfect meal.
I think the count and the countess will be extremely pleased with the meal. Would you like to serve it, or would you rather sit down and I serve it?
I think that I should serve it to you, good sir, Charles. If that does not offend you in any way. I think that you deserve a chance to sit at the table and maybe actually enjoy a meal for once.
As much as I appreciate that, housekeepers and guests are only the people who live here and their guests may sit at the table.
Yes, this is. I understand. I will sit at the table because I believe that I may offend Vickus if I'm not there, no?
That may be true.
Well, it has been a pleasure.
And the pleasure is all mine.
If you wouldn't mind giving me some of the spices for the special Vickus dish, that would be good. Well, you could just...
Vickus's dish is extremely easy. I'm sure you have it down.
I have it quite down. It's like a nat 20 down.
You take hardened loaves of bread and you grind them up into crumbs. You take some standard flour. You egg wash the boneless chicken cuts. So you strip the bone from the meat. Egg wash the meat before dousing into the flour, and then back into the egg wash, and then.
So there's no special trick that he's doing to make it like that little extra for Vickus.
That's the best part. There's nothing fancy about it.
It is the
some
most
standard
basic
salt and
thing.
pepper mixed in with the breadcrumbs.
Okay.
And then just fried in oil.
All right. Ed will just give him a curt bow and get ready to be served his own meal.
All right.
Then you freeze them and you preheat your oven for 450 degrees for 25 minutes.
You put them in, and they need to cook for 13 to 17 minutes.
Flip halfway through.
I'm glad I took a drink after I laughed. I might have spit my drink.
Now, Ed, if you want to ring the bell to announce that breakfast is ready, you may do so. The cord is there.
Do I have to do a ring check?
What?
Yes.
It was a joke.
Okay.
Yes, I ring the bell.
All right. As you walk out to the dining room, you pull on. It's more of a rope, like a silk rope that pulls up, and then you notice that the rope kind of untwines as it goes up to probably the various bells that go throughout the manor. But you pull, and you hear the rattling of the bells as you go and take a seat at the table.
Before the food comes out, I look at Callum and I say, under my breath as best I can, I really hope you know what you're doing, because if this is off in any way, Father is going to lose his mind.
Ed just looks at him and goes, "Le petit déjeuner est servi," which
yeah,
is
yes.
he just gives you this knowing look, and he says, "It is halfling for breakfast is served."
Oh,
Our
fantastic.
mother and father there at the table already.
They are now walking in, and they go to the head of the table where there are two seats, one noticeably larger than the other, and they sit down. Good morning, my sons.
Good morning, Father.
Morning.
So, we wanted to first and foremost engage you in the tale of what we have done thus far on Vickus's ever important pilgrimage. And I would like you to know that Sir Ed here actually prepared our meal this morning, and I think, Sir Ed, you said that it is ready?
Yes, it is ready.
Very good.
C'est un honneur. It is an honor.
Excellent. So Sir Ed here prepared our meal. He is an excellent chef. He actually, I was telling Sir Charles and the kitchens that he actually made us dragon steaks on a campfire that were the most tender, succulent cuts of meat I think I've ever had in my life. It was amazing. And speaking of dragons, and so then now Callum is going to go into a very animated reenactment of their battle against the Black Dragon, not sitting in his seat. And at one point, for the killing blow that Callum did deliver with a dagger, I'm going to make a performance check.
All right.
Not terrible. So yeah, I'm just going to reenact the whole.
To
combat.
make it slightly better as he does the dagger thing, Ed is going to use his once per day bonus action. Doesn't take a movement minor illusion to give him a plus D4 to that for 2 more. So it's a 17 on the performance.
All right.
Makes it more dramatic.
Your mother puts her hand up to her mouth and goes, and you can hear her mutter, "Oh my."
Yes, it was absolutely fantastic, Mother. I honestly, you would have enjoyed every moment of it. There was action and daring, and Sir Frost, I saw him cleave one of the frogmen nearly in half with one swipe of his blade, and Sir Ed blew them back with the force of arcane wind that was absolutely fantastic. Sir Ash hid in the shadows and launched arrows from a hidden position, and the frogman just fell, seemingly from nowhere. And Vickus was keeping his flaming mace above the enemies, flailing and striking down foes. It was absolutely fantastic. They were all just amazing, amazing warriors. And we made quite a decent amount of purse from it as well. It was amazing. So I will look to my father to see what he thinks of this whole performance.
Roll an insight check.
I also am looking for approval here.
Callum, you can't read Father's face. It looks like politically, I don't want to say politically correct, but just
like stoic.
stoic. Yes, he is just stoic to where you can't read if he's joy or not. But your mom is clearly having a show of emotions. Um, your father takes a sip of wine. Vickus, you can see that your father seems somewhat impressed, but he seems also curious on some things as he's
Okay.
glancing around at how people are sitting at the table and just looking at others randomly during the whole thing.
I will, I'll take my seat after the little performance and start taking a look at the spread.
As the chef, Sir Charles, as you dubbed him, opens the door and presents breakfast, as invisible servants wheel out various carts, and then as the food appears to float onto the table. Wow, a very impressive cooking. I think it's a little over the top for just breakfast, but it looks fantastic, Sir Ed.
Thank you,
No.
my lord.
Now going back to the story, Callum, you're saying you fought and killed a black dragon?
Yes, Father, we did.
Oh, that's quite impressive.
I would like to say that it was not just myself, but everyone at this table that partook in the adventure. It was fantastic.
Now, why did you go and fight a black dragon? I thought you were all on a pilgrimage to just go to some islands.
Yes, well, the matter at hand was that these companions are not following us free of charge. We do need to pay them, so gathering coin along the travels is necessary.
I see. Now, so the pilgrimage isn't over with then?
No, Father. It's not. No.
Okay. I thought you were all going to be gone for about a year and a half or so, but I didn't expect you all here so soon and back, so I was confused, but you were clearly all dressed to leave today. I'm guessing you didn't hear about the barons assembling tonight? As he looks to you, Callum.
No, we did hear. Yes, we did. It sounds like it would be a good, rousing time of talk of taxation and other, bureaucratic.
And you don't think it's important for you, as my heir, to attend this meeting?
Will I be making any decisions that affect the people?
Well, I was going to ask you tomorrow to go collect some of the new taxes that are going to be stemming from our conversation tonight.
Father, you're taxing. What are the new taxes?
It's yet to be decided, but mostly on imports from outside of the empire.
Oh yes. Well, as I am saying this with as much disdain as he is normally comfortable with. Not comfortable with. What's the word? That he's used to.
Tolerant.
Tolerant of. Well, while this sounds just absolutely engaging, I don't think you really need me there. And let's be honest.
But I think it'd be important for you to grow to, eventually fill my shoes when I'm gone, as well as you could possibly meet maybe a nice baroness or something, and eventually produce an heir of your own.
Yes, well, as amazing as that sounds, Vic is here. By the way, I would like the table of a small round of applause for Lord Vickus here. Whoa!
Da-da-da, da-da.
Ow.
That caught me off guard. A small round of applause for Lord Vickus here. By the way, we do need to discuss that, and I'll start just clapping before he even says anything.
Vickus is like completely awkward about this whole thing. Thanks, brother.
Does anyone else clap along with Callum?
No.
Yeah, I will.
Mine is super
Yes.
jovial, like hard clapping.
Okay.
Mine's not quite that hard, but it's there.
Your mom.
I looked at
your mom,
Callum.
Jana claps, but it's a very soft clap.
I looked at Callum and then to father and then to Callum and then back to father. Just super nervous.
I mean, what is to discuss with Vickus's title?
Oh no,
I'm glad you were all learned of his granting of the title, but what is there to discuss?
Well, mostly, and this is said with contempt. I'm just wondering the political strategy, why he was granted it now rather than earlier.
This is why I want you here more, Callum, so you can learn more about how this works. Obviously, the giving of the title to Vickus now means you should be expecting a new sibling.
Oh my! And I will just stand up
This
from
is
my
when
chair.
I start clapping.
That is amazing. I will smile at Sir Frost, and then I will just run over and give Mom just the biggest kiss on the cheek, and just look her in the eyes, and just tell her congratulations. That's absolutely fantastic. When is the new little one due to be here?
Roughly about 6 months from now.
Mother, your svelte figure, you're not even showing. Oh my goodness, you are just a vision. You are glowing. It's absolutely fantastic. Well, congratulations to all of us then.
Yes.
See, I was hoping that you would have all picked up on that upon receiving the title, but I wasn't sure if you've gotten the news yet, and Callum, you have a lot to learn if you're ever going to become Viscount.
Well, that is probably true, but luckily I am a young man, and we have plenty of time for that, honestly. But I would like to reconfirm that Vickus here is an important part of our family. Probably, if not the most important person in our family, given just his amazing ability, his amazing candor in court, and he's absolutely fantastic. And I think that as his older brother, I need to be there to make sure that he is protected. So I would like to continue with that. I'm sorry. That sounded like I was asking for confirmation. I will be there to protect him with that. And when we are done, I will return and learn all the countly ways.
And perhaps find yourself a nice baroness or such.
Oh, yeah, perhaps. Perhaps. That's like totally unconvinced. Just, yeah, sure, whatever.
And Vickus kind of speaks up here. Forgive me, Father, for interrupting. But unfortunately, we cannot stay, as there's quite a few things that we must take care of, and in the name of the clergy, I must continue on this pilgrimage as soon as possible. I apologize for taking Callum out of such important matters, but he's correct in that I do need him at my side if I'm going to complete this to the fullest and most proper way that I can, and that befits our name and our station. I do apologize for taking him away today, Father, but I'm afraid that the church cannot allow this to be delayed any longer.
Every time that Vickus apologizes, Callum is visibly clenching his jaw.
V- Vicus, if this is truly important to you, then so be it. But after this pilgrimage, Callum needs to return home and to start learning on how to take care of the family and
Mo-
and the people.
Most definitely, Father, and I completely agree. And I will do my best to ensure that he does return when we are finished with this. But I just cannot do this without him. And once again, I apologize for taking him from such important matters to do such things as accompany his younger brother on a religious pilgrimage.
Yes. Yes.
Vickus is. I don't actually. David and I haven't discussed this. Vickus is completely aware that Callum is like gay. Like,
Oh yeah, 100%.
he's the only one that really knows.
That's part of why this is so awkward for him and why he's
Right.
trying to create this.
Yeah, I know, Vicus, you have chosen your path and you are well on it. I want Callum to realize the path that he is on and start following it rather than averting his gaze as he looks to you, Callum.
I will brush off that comment as I have brushed off so many that he has made. Yes, of course. Yes, I mean, matters of court is extremely important. Have you tried the hog yet, Father? It is absolutely fantastic.
Oh yes, this meal is absolutely fantastic, but I won't let it distract me from the matters at hand.
No,
My
nothing
son.
would ever do that, Father, of course. Well, I will, yes, indeed return. You have the most accomplished clergyman I've ever seen in my life here with me. It is keeping me safe and protected. So I honestly have, I'm not worried at all about returning. It'll be fantastic. Did I mention that Sir Frost nearly cleaved a frogman in half with his giant sword?
Yes, you did. 3 times,
Okay.
I think.
Very good, very good. I just want to make sure that was there. And the wind, the arcane wind with Sir Ed, I mentioned that.
Yes, you do know that your great grandfather was a well accomplished adventurer.
No, yes, I know that he's, and I'm making this up on the spot, everyone. I will open up my kind of traveling vest that I have there, and there's one like small, very like beat up dagger there that was my great grandfather's. Yes, of course. I that's why I keep this on me at all times.
Yes, I've heard plenty of stories about adventuring during my younger years. I am glad you are all entertaining each other and having fun, but do be careful as there are greater matters at hand that need to be taken care of. And
Yes.
At this
Please.
point, I
Absolutely.
interrupt and I say, I apologize for interrupting, Father, but this is not all just fun and games. We are partaking on quite large matters of our own, and I assure you that there is nothing fun or leisurely about this pilgrimage, and that it is indeed a great feat among those of my faith, and I must say that everything that we have done is absolutely necessary to prepare us for what lies ahead.
well, all right.
Again, I apologize for interrupting, Father.
Perhaps I misunderstood the nature of the pilgrimage. I merely thought you were going to take a ship to the islands and just visit cities. I didn't understand the complexity that it has obviously become, but we are men of our words, and therefore, if you have made promises to your companions, then you will fulfill those promises.
Yes, Father, I just wanted to inform you that this is not all fun and games, and the stories that you have heard quite likely were embellished, and there is very few moments of glory or shining fun moments. In fact, many of our lives have been at stake this entire time, and frankly, I don't find it fun at all. This is quite stressful, and frankly, if it not were for my faith, I would not be doing this. 100%.
I'm going to look
Please.
around.
Please be careful.
Yes, Father, of course.
Everyone else seems Ed, Ash, Frost. I got Ed. Does Ed seem comfortable or uncomfortable at this point?
Ed is just kind of like, are we going or staying? I'll just not speak so I don't get in trouble.
And how's Frost looking?
I don't want another outburst.
Shifty, you there?
Uncomfortable. Sorry, I was looking at something else.
Oh, you're good.
Super uncomfortable.
Gotcha. And how's Sir Ash looking?
He is on his fourth meat pie. And he's watching the back and forth like a tennis match. His head's turning to each speaker.
Callum's still working on giving that fifth meat pie.
And his face is real blank. Like, it's just like he's watching TV while he eats breakfast.
Right. Okay. Well, I think business has been had. Let's enjoy our meal before we partake in our travels once more. And then Callum will just start having like small talk with his mother and like really talking up Vickus's accomplishments since they've left the city. Just kind of talking him up the whole time.
Do you all need anything before you get back on the road?
I don't know. Chaps, do we need anything?
Actually, there are some things that I would ask if we had them or a way to provision them. A scroll. There are some spell scrolls that I have been working on, and I have inscribed one of them. And I was curious if we had any available at our disposal that I may use for the pilgrimage ahead.
Wouldn't the temples possess those? That's normally where we go for our blessings.
The ones in Rapallo did not. I was just curious if we had, if we were aware of any in our temples within Esternay jurisdiction.
I'm sure the temples may have something that you're looking for, but I'm not aware, other than going to temple to pay tribute to the deities.
Yes, Mother. That is fine. I unfortunately we do not have time, and we must make haste once we have finished our meal, and we've conducted ourselves completely here. I apologize for such an awkward breakfast this morning, as I have greatly looked forward to coming back here, and quite do so miss both of you greatly.
Miss you too, both of my sons. And Ed, the dinner or the breakfast is fantastic. Please come back and cook for us again.
Oh, yes, of course. Sorry, you caught me right in the middle of typing something.
Okay. So breakfast wraps up. Fantastic breakfast. And you all say your farewells. As you leave, you stop by the stables on the estate to pick up your mounts and leave the district. Is there anything else you would like to do before starting your adventure?
Before we leave the stables, definitely gonna just praise her mod again, and then that'll be the only thing that Ed's gonna do before we go.
Yep, yeah, I'm ready to get on the road.
I'm gonna go up to Callum and ask him if he knows where to get any Snod's Bane around here.
Oh, actually, so Ash, I was going to do the same thing. So, yes, I do know of a excellent part of town where the people are, rather free spirited. We will stop on that way on the way out of town.
Excellent. Excellent.
I just need to go to somewhere and find a cask of ale to bring with.
And congratulations on your forthcoming sibling.
Oh no, yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. Does Frost mention that he needs ale?
Yes.
Oh no, Callum will just have. He just wants a cask, right?
Yes.
Gotcha. He'll just have a cask of ale, just brought to Frost before they leave the estate.
Yep, that's perfect.
So, the sibling. That's absolutely fantastic. I didn't know Father still had it in him. Absolutely amazing.
Maybe it'll be twins again.
So, does Ed hear you guys talking about Snogsbane?
Was Ash hiding it?
You guys weren't being like secretive about that, right? It was just as we're preparing to leave.
I just walked up to you at the stable.
Okay.
I wouldn't have said it like out loud to where
Hey,
like
you guys aren't yelling it, but I didn't.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, if you're within, I would say 10 feet. Yes.
I would like to restock on my secret ingredient as well, so let me know.
Gotcha. We all a bunch of token bastards, apparently.
This is why the food is so good, no?
No. So yeah, no, I'll lead after we leave. I'll lead everyone to like the I don't want to say shadier because I mean
It's not a shadier part of the town at all. It's just outside.
There's a
of the
lot of
more
aged hippies.
Interior. It's just outside of the interior of the city. It's more so outside of the outer walls of the city too, where there's just some suburban homes because the stuff just grows freely. So some farmers kind of keep it and sell it on not really the down low, but not as an official crop.
so I'm just gonna like Miss Frizzle, Magic School Bus, take everyone to go buy drugs.
It's cost about I don't know 3 copper for 4 ounces or so. It's fairly cheap.
I'll give them 2 silver pieces for a pound. This
Make that
do us.
2. Here's
Does this work?
here's another 5 silver pieces. Like, give me a pound too.
Okay, so let's get 3 pounds then, good sir.
Sure. And he hands you some brown paper wrapped with some hemp string packages. Then enjoy.
We will. Thank you so much.
That's the plan.
As you all begin your travels to Alton, be 100 miles. So you
During their exchange or whatever, I would kind of just be waiting on the road.
looking for the for the cops.
Exactly.
Regrouping on the road, you all cross the bridge. The bridge is probably a mile long. The lightning rail is above you, and it flies over quite a fast pace. But walking over the bridge and then onto the marked path to Autumn, it will take you roughly about 4.5 days to get to Autumn.
4.5 days.
Yep.
Awesome. Have I ever been this way before?
You have not.
What's the Hey, Callum, Vickus, what's travel like on this road? Is it
Oh,
dangerous? Is it
no, it's
well
relatively
controlled?
safe. I mean, if you stay on the main road, I think I'm kind of making this up as I go.
Yeah, no, travel is fairly safe inside of the borders of the Empire. Occasionally, there might be a wandering hill giant. There are some offbeat settlements, basically less than 200 people, fishing towns and stuff like that, that might be along the way.
So right now we're going to autumn, right?
Yep.
Okay. Are there ships regularly in the Behemoth River?
Yes.
Okay. So once we're finished at autumn, are we going to sail to the first group of islands?
No, I think we're making our way south. Were we going to sail? Are we going to sail out of Esternay to Amami? Is that what we were doing?
No,
I remember autumn because we were going to do the assassination thing, right?
It was my
Yeah.
understanding we were going to Trondheim and getting a ship there around this panhandle. And I don't know why we were going that far when we could get a ship somewhere near Esternay. But I remember it being discussed. But
What was Ash's contract?
I need to find a guy.
Yeah, but what? And Attune. Okay, gotcha. So yeah, we
But
could.
other than that, that's the only quest we're doing right now, right? That's all I have written down.
Yes,
Frost has have you disclosed your new mission?
Yes, I did before we left.
Yeah.
So is it a white dragon, right?
Yeah,
Apollo,
you guys.
yes.
Yeah, so you guys are aware that Frost now wants to kill a white dragon.
But we don't have any leads on that yet.
No.
That's why I didn't write it down.
So yeah, we would go to Attune and then probably make our way south on the bloody behemoth, because that's not ominous at all.
I mean, it looks like the behemoth goes right to the sea. Do you think we could just ride a boat on the behemoth to Esternay and then get a ship to this? Or is it there or there that you're supposed to go?
I have to start in the east.
Oh, you have to start over there. Got
Yep.
it. I thought you had to visit both places. I follow now. So we should probably just go to Trondheim then.
Yep.
After that.
That's take the bloody behemoth down, go to Sadello,
Yep.
and then Finstad, and then Trondheim.
Now I'm not confused. I didn't realize you had to start west.
Now, David, are you sticking to the solstice stuff?
Yeah. So ideally, the goal would be to start it on the summer solstice there at that island there on the longest day, and then end on the furthest west on the longest night to bring in the longer days as they come.
And yeah, so the winter solstice has passed as of a few weeks ago.
Right.
And so you have months before you need to be over there.
Right. Yeah. So I would make them aware that,
I didn't realize that part either.
Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, so that's the deal. I have to be at that island, the furthest eastmost point at our temple on the summer solstice to begin the pilgrimage. I didn't tell my parents that, but I told you guys that as we were on the road.
So is it a 12-month year in this world?
There is a calendar. It's the weird box with the top. It kind of looks like a pot. You can actually open up the calendar and see exactly what date and time it is, and you can realize that we are in Ardor, the second of Ardor, which is winter. I posted an image of what
I don't see that box. Oh, it's on the left.
Yeah, underneath the swords.
I believe the calendar is a 14-month,
Is there a way to
might
like
be 15th.
bump it out to the year, or is it just month by month? I think it's just month by month of what I'm
Yeah,
seeing.
I think
here.
it's
That's what
month
it
by
looks like.
month. But I can actually go into the configuration and post that. So month settings, hold on.
So how do I know what the longest day is?
So there's a list of all the months. Did I have that pinned? I already had that stuff pinned. The weekday names and the months. And it's pinned inside of Discord.
Gotcha.
Yep. Which
So
day is the solstice? I don't see it.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to
Solstice
figure
is
out.
not currently selected, but the first day of summer is in Selic, is the month there.
Okay.
And then what is fall is Valsa time. So it'd probably be mid Aeron. So probably the 15th of Aeron or so.
Perfect. And I would let them know that we needed to be at the temple.
Actually, it'd probably be the last day of Aeron. It'd be the 34th of Aeron.
Okay. Yeah, we needed to be there at the temple on the eastern side of the world by the last day of Aaron.
Gotcha. So we got like 5 months.
Yep.
Still, I think we got plenty. We should definitely still continue trying to get there. You can lose a month in one dungeon if you're unlucky enough.
So yeah, you guys have plenty and plenty of time to get there. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, basically 5 months.
Are we getting any leads on white dragons now? Knowing that, just from like through our journey in Esternay, did we?
Frost is well aware that white dragons live in cold climates,
Okay.
and
And we're heading to the coldest climate down here.
So, Frost, if we kill a dragon out of order, because I'm assuming we are like getting an Infinity Stone now, kill all the killers of the rainbow. If we kill the red one first, would that be a problem?
No. Killing of the dragons is. I just have to kill the ones I am asked to kill. Killing other ones are just lucky additions.
Okay. So, if you kill a dragon that you're not specifically asked to do, you're not going to be able to suck the soul out of it, as it will?
Oh.
do you want to
Okay.
ask?
Not in front of them, no.
You do have a telepathic connection to the sword.
Oh, I suppose I could do that. I will ask.
Slaying one of the each chromatics is what is required.
That would just
So, yes, we.
be a level of speed running.
Okay.
Wait, what? A speed run? Isn't that what we usually do when we run?
I just offer the next closest one that I'm aware.
The letters that come from Valkonen are more suggestions than missions.
I have
But-
never once seen you receive a letter.
I will pull the letter out of my pocket that I showed Dickhead in fucking Rapallo. Go,
Oh.
you mean like this one?
Oh, right. Why is my name Dickhead?
You said I never saw you pull out a letter, but I literally
Oh,
brought
yeah.
one out at the table in Rapallo.
Oh, that's right. I was drinking. Oh, right. Of course. I forgot about your letter. Can I see your letter?
I will give him the letter, which he can't read.
Yeah, all seems in order here. I'll just hand it back.
I missed something because I had someone knock on my door. What?
I was saying I hadn't seen the letter, and then he reminded me that I did, in fact,
What
see
is
the letter.
this letter?
The letter that I brought to the table that told me that what the next dragon was when we were in Rapallo.
Oh, okay, got it.
The letter from Valconan
Yes.
Yes.
in a language that nobody can read.
Ah.
Well, that seems pretty much on par as we are going on a world.
Can I see that letter?
Give it to him too.
You ritually casting it, or are you just gonna?
I'm casting it with a slot.
All right. As Ed speaks some arcane language, and eyes briefly glow as runes and other symbols cross.
So I don't know what language it is, but I can comprehend what is on the page.
Correct. So you
Can
understand
he?
the literal meaning of any spoken language you hear. You also understand any written language that you see, but you must be touching the surface on which the words are written. So as Ed holds out the letter and swipes his finger off of that, the letter is translated inside of his head. So it's not something that you see, it's kind of like Braille, but you just understand it.
You don't need to go into too much detail, but is it sus?
No, it just seems
It just says kill white dragon over.
Pretty much.
Basically. Okay.
pretty much.
It reads something more like my faithful servant.
Yeah,
You
it's
have
more
accomplished-
official.
You accomplished your first task. Next, slay a white dragon. I will reach out to you after that.
I will also cast minor illusion as I'm comprehending this and make like a what is the word I'm looking for? Subtitle, so everyone else can know what I just read, basically.
So he has like a comic book bubble, like
Yes. Yep.
popping up over
Yep.
his head.
Exactly that. Yep.
No, yeah, that's that. Like I said, it all checks out.
That's exactly what he said to us in Rapallo. Yes.
I was more just showing off.
Oh, well, good show.
Here you go. Hand you back the letter.
I did not know you could do such a thing. That's good to know.
I'm also just seeing what I can get away with as I come up with ideas. So if I want to use them later when it's more useful, you know what I mean?
Setting.
I'm gonna be honest. I
precedent.
wasn't sure if you could even do that or not. So
Minor illusion.
no, not the minor illusion part. The being able to read it.
Oh, gotcha.
Did you put all of the text in that using that spell, or did you have it
No,
underlined?
you put whatever you want on the paper.
It was
that,
all
like-
written in that spell.
Well, no. So you write. Well, it says something, and then you change the lettering according to the spell.
So all of it was protected by the spell. Sorry.
Correct.
Okay, never mind. We're gonna have to retcon that. Ed, you don't understand it.
Oh, okay. So it was like ciphered then.
Yes.
Got it.
That's what I was trying to figure out.
It says
Gotcha.
the red
I just
apple.
assumed it was like written in Draconic or something.
It's the red apple banana ate the tree on Monday. Well, not really Monday. It's what is that?
Well, still, I got to get away with what I wanted, and now I can go. Oh, so how is this okay? The red apple goes down the road, no?
What? It sounds like gibberish. Let's.
It would to you.
Is
Well,
this some
I'll-
sort of like secret language with your secret friend, Sir Frost?
Don't get me wrong, Frost. I trust you. I'm just saying that this it's disturbing.
It's disturbing.
And what is this disturbing about it?
Well, first off, there are plenty of apples, and I don't see what an apple has to do with a
That
white
is
dragon.
not what it says.
That's
you
what
would
he
need-
said. It said.
Yes, but he cannot read it.
Oh,
So-
right. So you have translated the apples, and it means the dragon bit, right?
Correct.
Okay. Now the blocks are fitting in place. Okay.
Wouldn't it be white apples?
Well, it would be what if you wanted someone to figure out your cipher, you would say white apples for
Oh,
white
it's a
dragon.
cipher. Oh, okay.
Well, yeah, it's code.
Yeah.
It is coded. Yes.
There's my lazy meme. It's disturbing.
Continuing on your path, nothing seems to be stalling you. There's not
Just
anywhere,
ourselves.
just yourselves. There's nothing. There's no campsite or town outside of Esternay that's close enough by the time that dusk comes, so you all have to camp off the side of the road. It's not that bad. There's evidence that other people have camped here before.
Every time we camp inside that tiny hut, it's like a hot box to Snogg's Bane.
We're all fucking
Actually,
around.
no. Vickus does not partake while on the road. He firmly wants to, to the rest of the group. He's like, absolutely not. No, I must keep my wits sharp. I cannot. You do what you must, but I will not partake on the road.
Does
He
Sir
looks like a-
Frost? Does Sir Frost partake?
No. But
Damn.
Does Larry
are we camping right
partake?
now?
Yes.
That what's going on right
Yes. Yes, and it's definitely the hut is a green shade at the moment.
I got it. So, no, I don't partake, but what I will do is I will pull out my cask of ale and my newly acquired mug.
As Frost pulls out from his sack.
I can roll it. I created it.
There's two M's in Grimm, you son of a bitch.
as Frost does in fact pull out one of the mugs with the Grimm heraldry and engraved in it.
Callum has
Nice.
no reaction and doesn't care.
I'll grin and look at you. How was the baby milk you kept asking for the other night?
I did not drink any baby milk. Unless
Oh.
you're speaking of the wine that you drink.
No,
Baby.
you drank some. You drank wine. What?
Frost, did you steal that from our estate?
No, I actually told Sir Frost that he could have the mug as a friendly reminder of his time in our estate.
Roll a deception check.
Absolutely. I will roll it at disadvantage
Wait,
because
you
he knows
gave
my
him
bullshit.
a mug and you didn't give me anything.
You didn't ask for one, Sash.
Hey.
There's the insight.
I'm rolling at disadvantage.
Yeah, Vickus, you know Callum's bullshitting through his teeth.
Okay, as I know that, I see him say that, and I look at Frost, and I say, "Well, brother, if it was a gift from you, then by all means, you've more than earned your place among us, Frost, and absolutely, I approve."
And I'm looking at Callum very confused. Like clearly like
not catching along with the fib at all. Like, what is going on?
So, enjoy your Grimm mug there, Sir Frost. That is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, that's awesome. By the way, that's fucking amazing.
Because there's daggers at Cal.
Callum just smiles.
Oh, look, dinner is ready. I roll a 19, so it's like a 27, and everyone gets a delicious meal.
As always, Ed, this is
I actually have
Surprise
made
me.
everyone your chicken nuggets for this meal,
Oh,
so
this
it's
is-
like
I am going to roll a deception check to hide my at disadvantage to hide how excited I am for these.
You're visibly like drooling and staring at these chicken nuggets because they look exquisite.
As always, Sir Ed, this is quite wonderful of a meal, and I thank you for this.
I
there's
feel
a
like
nice tall glass of cold milk too that has been prestoed perfectly temperature.
I could cool it.
I feel like if you're making chicken nuggets, you should roll your cooked utensils at disadvantage. Because can you really roll a 27 for chicken nuggets?
Yes, you can.
When it comes to how perfect of a bland chicken nugget, yeah.
But this is Vickus's favorite meal. And
I'll tell you what, the 27 is also the mayonnaise and ketchup sauce that was made.
Fancy
The
sauce.
fancy sauce.
I love that I did this as a joke game one, and like it's gotten this far. Where like people are learning secret chicken nugget recipes.
no need to
God.
presto these nuggets. But
I at a point of order after we finish our meal, whatever watch Sir Frost takes, I try to like basically be like, yeah, I'll take that one too.
okay. Well, your night is uneventful. Dinner is fantastic as always. Not sure where the chicken came from, but there are chicken nuggets.
I don't
The
question it.
specialty is everything tastes like chicken.
It's great. I don't even question it.
And the next night, the next day of traveling, also nothing really goes on. You saw some interesting giant eagles flying about up high in the sky. Seemed to be a pair flying about. But at the end of the day, you stumble into a small little fishing village as dusk begins to present itself. Yeah, there is a small cozy inn if you choose to stay there, or you can camp outside of the village. Your choice.
I would choose the inn.
Yeah, definitely the inn.
It's 3 silver pieces to stay at the inn, each. It provides breakfast and dinner for the night that you arrived, and breakfast the next morning before you depart. It's nothing fancy. It's your standard, smoked meats and some scrambled eggs, bacon, potatoes.
Callum paid everyone's room fee, so if you took silver pieces off, add them back.
All right.
There's no individual rooms here. It's kind of like a hostel setup where everyone has kind of like a bunk bed sort of deal, all in the same room.
Ooh.
So
Well, it's
it
kind of
is-
cozy.
it's a smaller little village. Um, they do actually have smoked fish instead of other meats because they are a little fishing village off the river.
I would like to make some fancy sauce for Vickus.
Okay. It's very easy for you to do.
Well,
I basically just have a fancy sauce dispenser at this point, just for
Ed,
Vickus.
while I greatly appreciate it, Ed, you have actually expanded my palate a little bit with the different dishes you have made. So don't feel that I trust you and your judgment to make delicious meals. So don't feel that you have to keep making the same thing every night.
I just like to make sure you have the option, no?
Well, yes. Well, that is great, and I appreciate it. I'm just letting you know that it's not necessary. Look, I greatly appreciate the effort.
The only time that Ed really does that to you is when, usually it's between when you and Callum are not getting along. He likes to bring some things from home to bring the mood down. If you haven't figured that out yet, I
Yeah,
was just
no,
taking a
no,
chance
it's
this
perfect.
time.
No, it's perfect. Absolutely. Yeah, Vickus is definitely telling you don't have to go to it, but he greatly appreciates the sentiment and the trend. He'll never turn it down.
All right. Staying in the inn and having breakfast the next morning. It's scrambled eggs and bacon. It's the thick cut, like Canadian bacon. They give you fresh squeezed juice for your beverage. You all depart, and it's again the next day is camping. This time by the river. Nice view. But eventually, at the end of your travels, you find yourselves approaching the city of Auten, and it is quite noticeable as there are a few large smokestacks that spew out white smoke, which could be recognized as steam, into the sky. Um, there's no outer walls. You cross the bridge over the river and basically enter the city and are surrounded by large stone and metal buildings. There's a significant presence of Warforged that seem to be moving carts around, carts that seem to be driving themselves. Um, and it's fairly loud, and it's not loud like people, it's loud like machinery. Grinding gears and constant bump, bump, bump.
This is a steampunk town.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, nothing really seems too magical other than the Warforged and the carts that move themselves. Everything else it seems to be mechanical in some way, ran off of machinery.
Well, Sir Ash, we have arrived.
Well, let's
Let us
find
know.
an inn and get off
Yeah.
the street. And I'm going to go check in with my agency, and I'll meet you back at the inn.
Oh, yeah, very well.
End up-
Do you need accompanied on your rendezvous?
No, I'm just gonna go check in and talk to the local agent and see if he has a lead on my delivery.
Very good. Well, if you need our help, we are here.
Yep, I won't be long.
Very well. Chaps, let's find this inn. And Sir Frost, if I could have a moment of your time whenever you are available.
Sure, we can talk.
Very good. And this can happen after Stoney's rendezvous.
So, Ash, you begin to wander the city looking for one of the transportation companies' warehouses. You do
Okay.
find one It's towards the river. It seems to be mostly transportation via boats. It's definitely small compared to the other ones that are present, though the dock seems a little busy with loading up 2 small sail ships. They appear to be unarmed. Walking into the warehouse, you see the stairs that lead to the upstairs office, where you can monitor the entire floor. And you walk up and approach the desk. Can I help you? Are you making a delivery, or would you like to schedule a receiving?
I'm deputy inspector. I'm here to get an update on a delivery. I
Oh,
have a letter. Where's the station chief?
you're speaking to him. Mind closing the door and close the shade.
I do as he asks.
So, I'm only aware of one delivery in this city. I'm assuming that it is for that.
I would assume so. It's for Mr. Gurney.
Yes, that would be the one. Um, so Mr. Gurney arrived roughly 4.5 weeks ago, um, though about a week and a half after his stay, he seemed to have disappeared, though the magical trace for his package still points to the city, though it's not strong enough to pinpoint his location exactly.
Is it possible he could have ditched his trace?
No, it's not. Due to his previous employer providing some samples, we have been able to trace him. It's just not a strong enough connection. Now, so you'll have to find him, though there's some information that you should know, is that he's a hobbyist performer. So while his day job used to be that of an accountant, he picked up a new trade, and
What's his act?
performance, I believe. He before uh, the delivery was scheduled, uh, he was on the road with a wagon performing shows for people.
I see.
So
He, the that seems like an odd thing for someone with that much money to do, but to
uh,
each their own, I suppose.
yes, I think he spent some of that money for the wagon. So and whatever made him happy living in whatever fantasy land. But I do hope you find him and can make your delivery. Unfortunately, there's not much information to provide here, so you'll just have to scour the city.
Well, do you? I've never been here. Do you know the town, or can you give me a
Mostly,
contact that could give me information?
so the city of Auten is mostly a craft and manufacturing city. Uh, Much of the furniture, floors, building bricks, tiles, and everything get manufactured here and get shipped out to the rest of the empire. Um, there are some places of establishment, taverns, inns for travelers and merchants, and some recreational facilities. We've had a few agents take a look at the recreational facilities, but nobody there seemed to match to the description of Mr. Gurney to perform the delivery. Um, so it, there's there's not much to do here on the adventuring side. It's
Has any trace of his wagon been found?
no trace.
Hmm. How big is this? How many taverns and inns are we talking about here?
Oh, there's probably, I think, 14 taverns.
Wow.
There's about 3 inns of sizable amounts, mostly near the center of town to handle the merchants. 6 stables, I believe, and he pulls out a small tome, flips it a few pages, and let me see. Um, Recreational variety for here. There are a few theaters. There are a little small jousting tournament that happens on the weekends. There is a small casino for gamblers. There's a fishing tournament that happens every once in a while. Uh, uh, Not too much going on here. Some horse racing and peculiar warforged racing as well.
Or forged racing. Okay.
Yes, I've seen a warforged with 6 legs. It was weird.
They're all weird. But
Yeah, it's some of the more wealthy craftsmen that are wanting to experiment with contraptions, and more of the common folk get to gamble on who they think is the better craftsman, basically.
has local law enforcement been
Local
asked?
law, I mean, you have a resident count who oversees the entire city. You have some barons that oversee certain manufacturing facilities, and baronets as well. Um,
They're barons of what now? What?
Barons and baronets. So barons are uh, is basically what Callum is. It's
Right.
a and
But
then
these are barons of industry, did you say?
yeah. So um, they govern certain districts and stuff. So they report to the count and they're responsible for certain things. So you might have one that's based off of like wood processing, one that's based off of stone, one that's one or two on metals or something like that. It's basically low level lords that are trying to keep people on task because everything is for the good of the empire.
I see.
They might not necessarily own the businesses and stuff that manufacture the goods, but they are the ones who can dish out the permits and provide orders from the empire to the manufacturing plants.
Alrighty. Any other information you can think of I wouldn't have that I might need?
There are handfuls of guards that patrol throughout the city. Most of the time, they're not needed. Um, there are some magical alarms placed on the border, which allow for, and if there should be an incursion of anything, um, monsters or such, that will set off. Um, I think the guards are sitting at 1,500 strong, and then of course the local populace is capable of forming a militia. Um, uh, there's not really much else to go with.
And this is how how many people live in Altoon?
15,000.
Wow.
Mostly manufacturers and guilds. I mean, there are various guilds. You have to be a member of a guild to get a job here, basically.
Wow. So like 10% of their population are guards. What are they guarding against? Is it a lot of rebellion? Or?
No, it's mostly a part of the standing army and stuff.
Ah,
Since the wall doesn't have, there's no walls around the city. They patrol a lot around the city. They're split up between multiple of manufacturing. So while there's might be 1,500 guards, they're not all on duty at the same time. So you can expect maybe 300 on a shift, but they will be staged around various areas.
I
Um,
got you.
Definitely the marketplace and the taverns where people seem to get a little bit more rowdy.
All right. Well, I appreciate your information. If you hear anything, what was the name of the inn I dropped them off at?
NN. NN. Just two letters. NN.
And then
The NN. I'll be at the NN if you have any leads come in.
It's one of those like
And-
super uppity inns where they just have like purple lights everywhere for some dumbass reason.
Oh, these are the most complex lights you've ever seen. There's like little switches and turn dials and stuff.
oh man,
It just seems unnecessarily complicated.
they're all Rube Goldberg devices.
There you go. Yes, I'll, Inspector, I will let you know if anything else comes across my desk.
Thank you much. And I'll head back to the inn.
All right?
What time of day did we roll in?
Midday.
Midday. I want to walk into the inn and ask the barkeep, hey, do y'all have any, where's the, I understand you have some theaters, but are there any outdoors, lower, more open to the public, like theater in the park or anything going on around here?
Well, there's the amphitheater, but uh, it doesn't get used very often because of its size. It's fairly large. Most of the theaters are small, and it's just kind of walk-in. They don't really sell tickets or nothing. It's just performers performing while people are on their breaks or such.
Well, all right. Well, can you point me to the nearest theater or two that have a show tonight?
So there's one theater that's I mean like they kind of perform all day. There's just different performers that hang around and they either own the place or because they most of them also have like a bar inside. So if the other taverns are full, that's where the workers go is to get a drink and they just listen to the music or stories or whatever's going on. With I mean there's I think one or two around the main market stalls. So you got to go down on the main road about 4 blocks, and then take a left for about 2 blocks, and you kind of come up to some market stalls. There's one that's really fancy. It has various gold and orange hues to it. I think it's ugly, but you'll see the theater marking there.
Alrighty.
The,
Thank you.
the other ones are just scattered around the city. I mean, they're one of the businesses that if you don't provide enough booze, they get closed down and get repurposed.
Okay. Well, thank you for the information.
Yeah, enjoy your stay.
Any of my friends in the lobby or not the lobby, but down here drinking or eating or anything? Or
Well, let's let Frost and Callum have their conversation.
yeah.
So, Frost, I feel that we have gotten off on the wrong foot. You seem to be have a contempt for me that I don't really understand, and I was hoping that you could maybe enlighten me on what it is that I'm doing that caused you to have such contempt.
I have no contempt for you, Callum.
Oh, well, good. Just your stoic behavior then. That's good. Is that what I'm feeling? Do you tend to be a more serious individual?
When you live a life like I do, it tends to be pretty serious.
That I can understand that. Hunting dragons is very serious business, and I completely, I find great honor in hunting the chromatic dragons, given their tendency towards evil natures. Well, I do appreciate the work that you're trying to do. As far as the life debt that you feel that you owe Vickus, which if there was a more honorable gentleman to owe a life debt to, I do not know them. How do your people repay a life debt, or is it just forever a burden or a privilege, as I would think a life debt to Vickus being owed would be? How do you repay that?
Is anyone else around?
I
Ed
specifically said like when like Frost is like alone. Like
I just wanted to make sure.
Ed's up at the bar drinking away, and Ash is gone to check in. So wherever Vickus is probably pampering up a bed at that
I would
time.
be up in the room working on the scroll. Yeah.
How else do I kill the black dragon?
what do you mean by I don't understand. I don't follow, Sir Frost.
How I had a job to do, and Valkonen provided.
Yes, but I mean, and that's fine, and I'm more than happy. I think it's a great adventure to go on. But specifically, what I'm asking is, you owe this life debt to my brother again, a very honorable gentleman. I'm wondering, is there a way for you to repay that life debt? Or
I'm gonna lean across the table, look him straight in the eyes, and like quietly say, "I do not owe any life debt."
Oh, so it's a ruse. Well, that I can get a part of. So, you're just traveling with us because of our skills, then?
As I said, I needed to kill a dragon, and Valkonen provided.
Very good. Did Valkonen tell you to travel with us, or was that just a matter of opportunity?
Valkonen told me I could not slay the dragon alone.
Oh, okay. Well, very good. That raises another question that I have. You don't owe my brother a life debt, which to this point has led me to believe that no harm would befall him. And I have seen you in action, and you seem to be a man of honor, and you fight your enemies honorably. So I appreciate that very much. But his well-being is of my utmost concern. So if I'm going to ask you this honestly, if saving his life were to stop you from killing a dragon, and I'm asking this for my own edification, so that I can be more prepared, because I don't believe that you're going to attack him. I have no qualms with that. But if it comes between saving his life and killing a dragon, I assume that you're going to kill the dragon.
I need you to kill dragons.
Okay. Well,
One dragon. The dragon will die. But even if the dragon is dead, I still need you to kill dragons.
okay, very good. I think I understand. Okay, very good. Well, excellent. Well, so Frost, I also want to extend an invitation that any time that you want to cross swords in a friendly manner, I would be more than willing and able to do so. I'm always looking to, privy out new forms and find new ways of fighting. So if there's ever a time that you want to cross swords against a more dexterous opponent, my wife is calling me gay in the background because she is an asshole, as it were.
Always cross your swords.
Always cross swords if you have the chance. I would be more than willing and able to do that. So I just wanted to get to a feel, because I felt like there was some animosity there. And I don't want there to be any, because I have great respect for you and your swordplay. So, being a swordsman myself, I find great value in that.
That is fine.
Very good, Sir Frost. Another round of ale, madam. Thank you. And I'm done.
All right. Make sure you subtract any copper or gold or whatever for your drinks.
Gotcha. Frost, they're on me.
But Vickus, you're up scribing spell scrolls. So Ash, when you return to the inn, you notice Ed is sitting at the bar drinking drinks, and you see Frost and Callum sitting at a table near the bar, also drinking drinks and snacking on what looks to be some sort of appetizer.
I'll go sit at the bar with Ed. Order a glass of wine. And
Hey, you know that is for babies, no?
do you think?
No.
Well, I've heard some folks think, but I like the flavor. And
Yeah, you have seen me drink many glasses of wine on the journey. Today is a spirit day.
this town is loud.
Yeah, I am going to have a hard time sleeping. That's why I'm trying to drink myself to bed.
Well, I'm working, so I'm not drinking much. But I'm gonna try to catch a show tonight just to get a feel for the entertainment community around here.
Well, if you need any help, we are always here.
Well, I mean, anybody's welcome to come along. I don't know that that anything's gonna happen tonight I need help with.
You may need do you need an arcane eye?
Well, I'm looking for a guy with some specific markings, probably taking efforts to hide them. But he has a set of 3 dice tattooed on the palm of his left hand, and he has a small corner on the outside, or a small scar on the outside corner of his right eye, and his right eye is lazy. So if I can find somebody with it that matches that, I mean, there's not going to be very many false positives, but supposedly he's taken a liking to being some kind of traveling actor, and he apparently, according to the diviners, he's in this city, but they can't locate where. So I'm going to start in the entertainment district and just get a feel for it, see if I can find some contacts there that might have a better idea who he might be.
I do have the ability to disguise myself, granted. Smaller stature, most of you humans double size me. Maybe it'd be useful. Other than that, I can be pretty persuasive when I put my mind to it. I'll go.
But yeah, come to the show. I don't know what we're gonna go see, but I'm gonna go see a show.
So Frost, our friends seem to be at the bar. So Ash has arrived after his rendezvous delivery. Let's head up there. I'll clap Frost on the shoulder and start walking towards Ash and Ed.
I will follow.
Will Ash recap basically what he just told Ed?
Absolutely.
I have an idea if it would be beneficial to you, Sir Ash.
I'm all ears.
Well, if we all
Click the points on my ears.
Oh, you're very funny. If we all, I mean, he's been here for a while now, right? So we don't believe he has any plans to leave. If we all split up and travel to the various places that he may perform, one of us may be able to spot him, and then at which case we could bring the rest of the group there the next night to watch the performance and help you take care of your delivery. If that seems like a beneficial plan to you.
If y'all want to do that, that would be awesome.
I mean, Sir Ed, Sir Frost, I mean, a free night at the show. That seems like an easy night of work.
I already agreed to go.
I will pay the entries for the shows, and y'all can.
So is that tonight?
What? One moment, please.
Well, tonight I was planning to just go get a feel for what passes for entertainment around here, and then wait for the weekend when do they do weekends here, or is it?
Since most of the production, you kind of got this in your briefing, most of the production and manufacturing is for menial tasks that kind of runs 24/7. So the more of the assemblers, the people who do the finer detail and carvings and stuff on the products on the final products, they will take off on the weekends. Machinists and those who maintain the machines and systems will sometimes have to work on the weekends to keep up with repairs and stuff.
Right, but there's a bigger focus on entertainment during the week, whatever a weekend is in these 9
The amphitheater is only really used when the count have like professionals come in. While the theaters just seem to be a easy way to rake in money. It's
yeah, I get it. So there's not a part of the time of a week that more people go out for entertainment than others. They just go every night of the
every night during their lunch breaks when they're sick or whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's also the gambling and the racing and stuff.
Quick question. Looking at the calendar here, what is considered the weekend generally?
Hold on, I gotta set the date. So it is a 3-day weekend. I believe it is from Curiel to Irul.
Okay, so keep on IR there. Look at the calendar. Okay.
So one is just a general day off, and one is a day of errands, and one is basically a day of worship for
Why are
most
there
common
two
folk.
keys?
One's a Kila and the other one is Kiriel.
Yes, you can hover over them, and it gives you their full name.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's actually really cool. So 3-day work weekend, as every country should adopt.
But it's a 6-day work week.
It's actually only 5. Ba, ki, pe, a, si. No,
But the
you're
weeks
right.
are
No,
9 days, right?
God damn it, Stony! Don't give me math when I'm drinking.
Do re mi fa sol la ti. Fuck.
Yeah, exactly. You're right, Stony. You're right. Honestly, I'd work 6 10s to get 3 days off.
It is
No.
it is the general rule of thumb. I mean, people don't work all the day because people have lives. This is still a medieval fantasy setting, so there is magic and stuff, but there's not always work to do at like a business or anything like that. So people have to go home and clean up the home and take care of kids
Right.
and stuff like that. So it's not like, hey, you work 8 hours a day. You might work 4 hours one day. You might work 10 hours the next day. You work when there's work to be done.
Yeah. Okay, after the game, we need to talk about why the fuck there's poverty in the Harry Potter universe, because it doesn't make any sense to me.
Do we need to talk about that?
What?
Do you need to talk about
I need to talk about that, yeah.
My blood.
But, okay, so Keymon, and we're in pay. Okay, gotcha. So Ash, I think if we split our work here and split up as a group, and we visit the various areas in the looking for this lazy-eyed, scarred man. I think we would, possibly improve your efficiency by 66 to 75%.
I agree. I was just trying to figure out when the best time to do that would be, but apparently it could be done 24 hours.
Ed, your rapper is...
Yeah, I was gonna say, who's
Sorry, I
aggressively?
thought I was muted.
No, you're good.
I started dropping my cookie package.
Gotcha. No, I'm
let
sorry.
it-
So, Ash, the machinery was so loud. What were you saying?
I was just trying to figure out when would be the best time to actually do that, but it could be literally any time. So
Yeah, so that we'll just we'll split up every night until we find where he tends to perform.
it could be in the day. It doesn't matter.
Oh, well, we'll just split up every
And
day.
this guy's. I'm trying to figure out of all these venues where somebody that was still willing to get on stage would dare perform if he knows people are looking for him.
Well,
But
actually,
I couldn't find any difference in any venue. They're all the same.
what?
they-
One moment, Ash. Barkeep, over here, please.
Yeah, what's up?
How you doing? I would like to get 4 shots of whiskey, your finest whiskey, if you could. And then I have a question. I've heard tale of an amazing performer here around these parts. He's got a scar on his right eye, kind of a lazy eye a little bit, I was just wondering, have you heard of where he might be performing?
There was some guy like that a few weeks ago, but no one's seen him since. He came up with some weird wagon thing. And the guards got fed up with him just setting up random stuff randomly on the street and trying to perform. Became more of a nuisance.
Very good. What did I've heard tales, so I would love to see his performance. What did the wagon look like?
It's a standard wagon, but instead of seats inside, he took off one of the sides and would use it kind of like a miniature stage, sitting on his knees in there. And
Okay. What was his act all about? I mean, again, I've heard that it was very entertaining, but the specifics evade me.
most of what most performers, those who are not, who can't tell tales of their own, tell tales of others. And what are the best tales to tell? The tales of the gods.
Oh, very good. So he's more of a pious actor, as it were.
Most of them around here are. None of them have the gall to go do what actually needs to be done.
Well, what do you... Sorry, guys. What do you mean by that, sir?
Go off and slay the monsters that they all want to tell the tales of. They're just sit here and perform other people's work rather than go do it themselves.
I will tell you here, good sir, that these four gentlemen are these four gentlemen here. Because Vickus still isn't here, right? He's making a scroll.
Yep. Nope. I'm still upstairs.
Gotcha. Have actually slayed a black dragon in the Wyvern Bayou. So you have 4 men of action here currently. Just so you know, just to put you at ease. I'll still pay full price for the drinks, but I would.
Are you gonna sing me a song about it?
No, not sing you a song. Just tell you that it did indeed happen, and we did in fact do it. But yes, I will be on the lookout for the swag, and I do so appreciate the information. And how much for the drinks?
It's gonna be a silver piece for the whiskeys.
Gotcha. Each. Gotcha.
So what are we gonna go for a couple hours and then meet back here, or just all go wander around and meet back in the morning?
I would say that we would stay out until 2, 3 in the morning, and then meet back here, confer what information we have garnered, and then sleep for the night and start again. 9, 10 in the morning.
Well, everybody should be careful. This guy's on the run, and he may be desperate. He may have people warn him that somebody's looking for him. So it might not be good for y'all to go off by yourselves, especially, Callum and Vickus.
What? So Ash, I don't understand your meaning. What? Have I not proven myself to be a capable warrior?
I totally believe you're capable, but you're the heir to your house.
Oh, I'll gingerly kind of like pat Ash's arm, give it a nice little soft squeeze. So Ash, I so commend your fervor and concern for my family, but it's no mind. We're here to help you because you are helping us. So we'll we won't. I think all of us here know that we shouldn't engage by ourselves. We'll just observe.
Well,
so Frost said, you agree?
I agree with that, actually, but you know who's not going to agree with that? I would imagine
Who?
your brother.
No, he has no problem with going to see a show and just watching things. I promise you, he'll
I have
an
no
issue.
doubt of that. I just think he might have a problem with you wandering around looking for one of my deliveries.
Well, then
asking questions about them by yourself.
Well, I won't be asking questions. I'll just be observing to see if I can find this gentleman, this wagon specifically, with this information, and I'll tell him to do the same. And we're in a city full of gods and people.
If you're comfortable with it and he's comfortable with it, I'm good. I just don't want you to get...
So, Ash, I'm comfortable with many, many things. So we will take care of this for you, and it is not a problem.
So we're going out to look tonight, right?
Oh, yeah. For sure. Yeah.
When when Ed goes out, if you look at the chat, he uses disguise self to make himself look like a really shitty dragon performer to walk around town. That's his disguise. As you can see, the actual human legs hanging out the bottom.
I'm going to use disguise self to go out as a young human male.
My disguise is a street performer, if you guys didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I'm afraid I don't have any street performer clothes, but I do have just nondescript work clothes.
All right. Are you all venturing out to try out different theaters by yourselves?
I would
Indeed,
confer
we
the plan to Vickus and be
Yeah,
like,
you
hey,
better.
hey, we're looking for this guy with like 3 dice on his hand, a scar over his right eye, and the right eye is sort of lazy. We're just going around the local establishments trying to find this wagon that has a side that folds down into a small stage. And if you find him, just let us. We're not gonna engage him at all. We're just looking for him, and when you find him, just kind of come back here. Enjoy yourself. Don't just like run off and come back here around 2-3 in the morning, and we're all gonna just like share notes of what we found. But you don't need to like ask questions or anything like that. We're just looking around.
Oh yes, that's perfect. I can. You said it was a performer, and we're going to look for him.
Yeah, we're just looking for a performer. As I'm rolling a fucking Snogsbane to share with him in the end.
I'm sorry, brother. I cannot partake tonight. I don't want to disturb the work that I've started here with this scroll, as it is quite important to what we are doing. But I do appreciate it, and
no problem. I will not partake either, and I'll put the rolled fatty in my pocket.
Go, please, go ahead.
No. I do not partake until you partake. Because I am in a general state of relaxation, whereas you are not. So that's what we're looking for tonight. And I would very much appreciate if you would participate in this reconnaissance, as it were.
Yes. Well, would you like me to do so in the audience, or would you like me to peruse about the city as an obvious member of the church, and see what I can see from that angle?
Vickus, whatever you find to be the most advantageous to you, you make that decision for yourself, as you always should.
This is quite new to me, so I
trust your judgment.
Fair enough. That will work for me.
Very good. And I'll leave the room and I'll just start meandering the city.
I will put my like vestments, like the robe particularly, over top of my armor if I could. And I will kind of walk around the city.
All right.
Doing my church
So
thing.
do we need to do investigation checks or what?
No. Everyone who is going to go look for a theater to watch a performance for the night, roll a d20 to figure out which theaters you all end up at. Finding them is not hard. I just want to need to know who's going where. I have Ed and Frost. I need everyone to roll one. Stony, yours is private.
Oh, even okay. Even if it,
Yep. Everyone.
Okay.
Because you're all separated.
Right.
Okay. Ash, Vickus. So Callum.
Sorry, I was using the restroom real quick. 1 second.
Well, excuse
Did you guys hear that?
Yeah.
How did they hear me?
Okay. Work from the top to the bottom. So Ed, you find yourself at the Apple Blossom Concert Hall.
Apple blossom jeans.
Boots with the fur.
I knew
couldn't-
you
I-
would laugh at that, David.
I couldn't leave it hanging. I couldn't leave it hanging. And YouTube just got demonetized. God damn it.
Yeah, well, I'm not monetized anyways. I turn that shit off. I don't believe in ads. The performance there tonight, performed by two bard type people. One being Elvish, the other is, in a rare occurrence, a tiefling, missing their right horn, and the tip of their tail has been cut off. They are performing the Elf of the Rose. So it is basically a story about an elf who has a very comfortable life, goes off on a small adventure, and finds their way back home to return to their comfortable life.
Okay.
Roll perception check, Ed.
Sure thing. Give me just a second. I was on the wrong page.
Holy shit.
Based off of Frost's or Ash's description, you don't notice any of the things you're looking for regarding the marks and stuff.
Okay. And before the show, I would ritually cast comprehended languages and detect magic for anything else that may be of use.
Detect magic goes off. You see unseen servants around, refilling drinks and carrying things. There's plenty of magic from the performers as they are using spells such as Disguise Self or Minor Illusion and other cantrips, including Presto, to create effects for the performance.
Okay. But no one discussing anything about the carriage that we are looking for or anything like that?
Nope, nothing.
Okay.
All right.
All right. The only other thing that I think Ed would try to do is after the show, maybe try to ask the performers if they know of this guy, using kind of the same strategy that Callum did, with saying, hey, I heard about this one guy that travels around in a coach with a scar and some dice on his hand. Have you guys seen him?
They tell you that they've heard of the schmuck, and after the guards trashed his wagon, he kind of disappeared.
Meaning he does not have a wagon anymore?
That's what you get.
Okay. Okay.
Frost, you end up actually visiting the amphitheater. It is open. There seems to be some people practicing, not much of an audience sitting there. There are a few, but there seems to be a practice for performance as they stop multiple times during their performance to start scenes over and stuff like that.
What's the name of the one Frost went to?
The Moonlight Amphitheater. And their performance is called The Money Box. And it's a nursery about toys. So that's the money box being made of clay in the shape of a pig, and its throat is slit. It's an interesting one. Go ahead and roll perception check.
I think the Brothers Grimm came up with that story.
Do I see our friend around?
That's why I was asking for a perception check.
God damn these perception checks right now.
You do not see anything that matches the description that Ash provided. No marks or any of the behaviors or anything like that. And no wagon. All right. Any other questions from you, Frost?
I'd also would cast detect magic.
Again, detect magic. You see minor illusions pop off. Occasionally, the actors will use disguise self to basically change costume. Some prestos. At one point, it looks like a director of some sort threw a firebolt at their feet, yelling at them because they moved wrong. But nothing else.
All right. Nope, I don't get any other questions then.
All right. Next up is Ash. You end up visiting. What is this? This is the Titan Concert Hall. And their performance is called The Lost Bell, and it's about a shepherd's boy outside of the city of Esternay who lost the bell from one of the sheep, and he goes off on a little adventure to find it, and the adventure seems very scary, and as he encounters all these weird monsters, but it's all, part of his exaggerated imagination from being a young child. So like a big bad wolf was actually just a little puppy or of some dog, some shepherd dog and stuff like that. Go ahead and
Interesting.
Yep, roll a perception check.
Keep it going.
You do not notice any of the traits that you're looking for out of any of the performers or anybody in the audience.
Okay.
Any other questions or
No. Well, I'll ask. I don't know. Someone that works there, like, do they serve drinks and stuff? I suppose
there is, in fact, 2 small bars on either end. So the room is set up with some support posts and some loose-fitting chairs strewn about, some tables and stuff like that. But
I'll order a. What do they serve? Anything? Wine?
Yeah, they serve mostly cheap ales and wines and lower quality spirits.
Yep, I'll get a cheap glass of wine and sip it. But hey, have you ever heard of a guy with a lazy eye, like to perform, had a wagon?
Don't talk to me about the gurney. His performance is...
Why so many people talk about him? I'm just curious.
He would set up in the streets randomly throughout the day, and he would paint his wagon so that nobody knew it was him. And then eventually he would just pop out and do a performance, and the guards would chase him off. And they got tired of it, and they smashed his wagon. I think they ran him out of town or killed him. Not sure, don't care.
Oh yeah, do you know what sector of the city he was in when that happened? Or
he changed it up, trying to avoid the guards every day.
I mean, the night they broke his wagon up and threw him out of the city.
Probably more on the eastern road.
On the eastern road.
eastern side of the city, towards the main entrance there, trying to probably get the merchants to throw coin at him or something.
Alrighty. Thank you.
Eh. Enjoy your
Have a good
drink.
evening, sir. I give him a couple of silver pieces for his information.
He puts a wide smile on his face.
I don't need to find that guy. He insulted somebody I know. I just need to pass on a message.
Eh. Like I said, no one's seen him.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time and your information. You have a good evening.
Enjoy your drinks.
I'll meander across the room, set the drink on the corner of some table, and just exit.
All right. Vickus. You
Yes.
end up at the Obelisk Theater.
Ooh.
More named because there's just a giant obelisk. This is a center theater to where instead of a stage up front, the theater is a circular platform in the middle of the room, and in the middle of the platform is an obelisk where the actors enter and exit from, supposedly through some sort of like trap door or something that goes beneath the stage.
Very interesting.
And it's an interesting theater as the whole platform can rotate and stuff. So as they're performing, you can actually hear the gears clanking as it rotates and they perform. But what are they performing? Let me tell you. Find a story. They are performing The Ice Maiden.
Ooh.
It is a woman who is cursed to where everyone she touches turns to solid ice.
Have I heard this one before?
It's a tragic tale. Roll a perception check.
The spin-offs were probably worse.
I'm going to guidance myself as I do this.
As expected.
Oh, let's go.
There you go.
You do not notice any of the traits as Ash described them. Are there any other questions or insights you would like to make while you're here for the night?
I would just listen. I was never told the name, was I?
No, I told her. Gurney.
Okay. Yeah, I would just listen for the name, and if it ever came up, I'll just make a note of it. And yeah, that's it. I'm not going to ask questions. I'm not going to. I was told to come and observe, and that's what I'm doing.
All right. You do not hear the name. So you observe the performance. It's
Was it a good show?
not really. It was mediocre. Amateurs.
I do indeed tell someone that they should not quit their day jobs.
They really have a face for radio.
Sir, this is my day job.
Well, then I suggest the opposite then. Maybe you should find another one.
He runs off in tears.
That's unfortunate. I was trying to give criticism, but all right.
Theater
Callum.
folks are very sensitive. Yep.
Let's figure out where you're going. You're going to
Exactly where that guy is.
the Melodary Concert Hall.
Melody. Oh, that's
Melody
nice.
Concert Hall.
Beautiful.
And they are telling the story of the ugly duckling.
Oh,
The story of Vickus. Very good.
I figured it was going to be this Gurney fella.
So, you get the ugly duckling. Performance is okay. Again, amateur, mediocre-ish type people. The magic that they perform is on hand. Or, the special effects, as you would call them. But go ahead and roll me a perception check.
I am okay. So since everyone's rolled so fucking high, I am going to burn a Calabras on this perception check.
Doesn't
It
matter.
didn't fucking matter. God damn it.
You do not notice anyone with the quirks that Ash has described to you.
I couldn't have used Portent there, could I?
You could have used Portent.
Damn it! I wish I had my mic
Any
muted. I was
any
there yelling.
D20 roll. Any D20 roll.
Doesn't he have to be able to see me though?
Oh no, not on yeah, you can't do it for Callum's. You can only do it for
That's
your
what I meant.
checks. Yeah, no, sorry, I thought you meant your own.
No, we're good.
Um,
I thought I had to be visible.
So knowing that I'm just a little bit overwhelmed with the amount of people here, let me go and chat up one of the actors after the performance.
Alright, after the performance ends, you end up finding your way backstage, and you find some of them doing makeup and changing and whatnot. Hey, what's you doing here?
That was an absolutely splendid performance. I love The Ugly Duckling. It is a tale that should be foretold until the end of time. So I really appreciate you choosing that as your performance. I just wanted to congratulate you on just the immense. You should be performing at the amphitheater.
How many times are you gonna say I was good?
As many times as you would like to hear. How many times is that?
I think you said it enough.
Okay, well, very well, very well. I have heard tale of another performance done by a gentleman. He performs theatrics of the deities. I believe he goes by the name Gurney.
Gurney got ran off by guards.
He got ran off. Oh, very well. Was he ran out of the city?
He wasn't very good. I don't know. Nobody's seen him since his wagon got busted.
Oh, the wagon was busted. Oh no. Very well. Was he apprehended?
I don't think so. I heard he cried like a little bitch.
Well, crying like a little bit. I know a gentleman very well, actually. You could say that we are fraternal. He cries like a little bitch quite often, especially if he doesn't get his chicken nuggets.
What chicken nuggets?
So you take, and I'll go over the accoutrement that goes along with chicken nuggets. I'm not going to explain it in my accent. Those are chicken nuggets.
But why would you take the meat off the bone?
Well, it makes it so that it's much easier to eat.
You pick up from the bone and you chew it.
That is true. I don't disagree, but you know what? Here you go. I'm going to hand them a gold piece. I'm like, you go buy as much chicken as you want. And then what you do is I want you to try it. Just rip the meat from the bone and then fry it up. And I will come back, I will come back in 1 year's time to attune, however the hell we call this, Atten. And I will ask you if you enjoyed your chicken without the bone. And you let me know what you find out.
You can hear Ed in the back of your head saying, you have to masticate it first and then mush it back together for the chicken nugget.
I'll give it a shot. I guess. I mean, you gave me go. I'll do it.
Yeah, just buy 2 chickens. You eat one the way you like it, and the other one you rip the meat from the bone and you try it that way. And then the rest of it you pay your studio apartment rent because you work in a theater. So we are good here. Gurney was trying to fill gods. Okay, so you don't know Gurney in any capacity then.
I don't know, Gur.
Does anyone that you work with know Gurney?
I I don't know. I got here about, I don't know, 6 months ago.
6 months ago. Okay, well, I had heard that this Gurney fellow had arrived about 4 weeks ago, so you've been here much longer than Sir Gurney had been. What in have any of your other actor friends here in the dressing area? Have they worked here for any longer than you have?
No, we all came together. We all came down from disease.
Oh, disease! I've heard about disease. I do hope that they are doing well there. As far as who is are you an actor or the director?
I'm the actor.
Oh, very good.
I am the lead role.
Oh no, I saw it. Actually, I'm sorry, I didn't recognize you without the feathers. No, you were absolutely brilliant as the Ugly Duckling. You're absolutely wonderful. The director is he available? Is he already taken off for the night?
We self-direct.
Oh, clearly you're masters of your craft. I apologize. Well, I will then take my leave because this is obviously fucking going nowhere. And thank you so much for your time. And I will walk off.
I'll try the chicken nugget thing, I guess.
Thank you so much.
If we don't come back here in a year,
No, I'm running it down. We're gonna come back here.
Come back in a year and he'll have a chicken nugget stand outside the theater.
Called McDonald's.
McDuckles.
McDuckles. McNuggets.
Just remember to copy a link to the VOD so that way I can remember what voice I'm supposed to be doing.
It was what's the word? Jesco adjacent.
Jesco adjacent.
Kinda, yeah.
It was spectrum adjusted.
But that is all what you find for this night, as you all return, quite exhausted, to the inn, all reporting that you found nothing but shit. Some of you found out that the wagon was busted by the guards, and that no one's really seen them since.
Oh,
The guards said that he ran off in tears, so he is not apprehended.
No,
that is what I heard as well.
I got a feeling the guards busted up his wagon and probably went overboard and killed him and hid his body somewhere. But that's just me being pessimistic about how hard this is going to be. But I think next time we need to go talk. I need to go talk to some guards.
That's an excellent plan, Sir Ash. I also thought that maybe a few of us could go and take a look at the local wagon makers. I don't know what the fuck a wagon maker is called. Carpenters, and see if anyone else has like commissioned a wagon with a stage that could fold out on the side to see if maybe he's looking to purchase another one. I would imagine that he may be looking to do that if his wagon was destroyed. So I will Vickus, actually you should help me with that. Vickus and I will go and do that tomorrow morning.
Absolutely, yes, that would work.
I think this is also a good place to call the session. So, tomorrow morning you all will continue your hunt for Mr. Garney, so Ash can
Ooh.
perform the delivery.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Miss